Stop doing this stupid Duolingo drops. Get out of here. I don't want Duolingo. I don't like Duolingo. We here at Smile Freya do not like Duolingo. Duolingo is our enemy. Ah, another Lore Tuesday. Hi, CJ. I am so glad that you got the new username so I don't have to, like, think. Is it the 7th last time? Alright, I'm up here. We don't have that much. Kind of. We have a lot. Hi, Ross. We're gonna get started fairly soon because I do want to finish this as soon as I can. I have a bunch of stuff to do on my PC before I have to shut everything down and take it all apart. Tomorrow, that's my main goal, is to put both of my I say all of my 2 monitors in boxes and ship them because I need those to get out there before I arrive in 4 days. 4 days! Oh my god. It's so scary, but it's so exciting. I'm so ready. 'Tis Tuesday. Hi, Strawberry. Spawn, Comet, Mika. Zilang Su. It's Tuesday. I have cousins who live in the UK. Thought about going and visiting them, but it's a little difficult. Who should I change the Malgrafin thing to? I mean, we could also keep it. Frey did not survive the Great Anomaly. No. For my second video, it's just the faction meeting. Small, silly item, hoping you can see. Yeah, that's fine. It all depends. I want to do this under 3 hours. That's my goal, is under 3 hours. If we can do that, I'll watch the whole videos. It's gonna be so weird. Next Tuesday, I'm gonna be in a completely different place. My background will probably not be as pretty for now. We'll see if I can get something. It'll probably be, well, it'll be pretty much like when I have it at Virgil's house. In the creepy basement. Woo. Alright, well, let's get started. It's Tuesday time. I'm just gonna get right into this. We have attempted murder. Trigger warning for major gore and torture. We got this cleared, but it's still pretty bad. This is concerning. Is this clear? You know, I trust my lore team. I always remember I'm very close. That's scary. Alright, beware, I guess. It was late at night. I was already half asleep, but still had to make the stupidly long walk to the Joker's corner. Something felt wrong. I thought it was just my paranoia. I soon found out I was very wrong. I heard some noises behind me before I could turn around. A rag was put in my mouth and nose. I tried kicking, screaming, even scratching the person. No, the thing that held me, but to no avail did it work. Shh, don't worry, this will all be over soon, Ambush's voice rang out, as it was the last thing I heard before I passed out. When I woke back up, I was tied down in a chair, in a room I didn't recognize. The walls were covered in a stench of despair and blood. The floor was ice cold and concrete. You were out for a bit, clown, Ambush's distorted voice slithered from behind me, echoing off the walls like laughter in a grave. My pulse quickened, and I turned my head, but the ropes bit into my arms, burning my skin. Do I trust the lore team? Maybe I shouldn't. He stepped into view, that twisted grin glowing faintly in the dim light. His face flickered between static and shadow, the very air around him humming with wrongness. What do you want from me? I croaked, my throat dry and raw. Ambush tilted his head, amused. Oh, nothing much. Just wanted to see how long a joker can laugh while the joke's on them. He dragged a jagged piece of metal from the floor, rusty, sharp, and humming faintly with energy. My stomach twisted. The first strike wasn't to kill, it was to hurt. My shoulder split open, blood spilling down my sleeve. I screamed through the gag, the sound echoing like music to him. The wound healed up within a few seconds, making me dizzy. Shame, no one's laughing now. he mocked, pressing the edge against my cheek. Maybe we can fix that. Hours felt like days. Pain blurred it into delirium. Dude, some crazy stuff happens on Solace. Crazy stuff, and Freya just doesn't know about any of it, does she? Cuts, electric shocks, laughter that never stopped. Ambushes whispered things into my ear between tortures, things that crawled into my mind and nested there. When he finally stepped away, humming softly, I realized he'd left the blade near my leg, maybe on purpose, maybe to see if I'd try. Every moment burned, every breath screamed, but I managed to twist the chair just enough to make it crash to the ground. The metal bit into my side. Cat, thanks for the 12 months, it's a year! Hooray!
The monthly fuck Bezos.
Exactly. The metal bit into my side, but I used it, sawing the ropes until my wrists bled. Ambush's laughter echoed from the next room. He thought I was still his toy. I forced myself up, limping towards the door. My vision swam, walls tilting, blood dripping from my chin, but I moved. He appeared in the hallway just as I reached the end, his smile wide, glowing eyes flickering. Aw, you're leaving already? But the fun just started. I didn't answer. I threw myself through the nearest window. The glass shredded my arms, and the cold air hit like knives. I rolled into the wet grass outside, gasping, blood trailing behind me. When I looked back, Ambush was standing in the broken window frame, watching, smiling. Run, clown. Run fast. I'll find you when the laughs stop. And I did run. I don't even remember where, just the sound of my own heartbeat and the laughter that wouldn't stop echoing inside my skull. Even now as I write this, I swear I can still hear him, somewhere in the static of the night. Just more scars to hide. Damn. Ambush is a freak. Did this happen on Solace? Jeez. Truffle goes through it every single Tuesday. Alright, we got the Goddess of Solace and the Hand of Harmonia. This is the meeting between Freya and Okena. Yippee! While sifting through my recent letters, I noticed a meeting request from a name I recognized. Okena. Okul had warned me about this individual back before the incident, but I didn't know whether or not her words were to be trusted. Some of my employees had encountered him, or heard about encounters through the grapevine, but from what I had heard, he seemed quite cordial. Either way, I suppose I would have the opportunity to meet the man myself. I arrived on the dot as scheduled, and opened the door to the conference room to see he beat me there. He was tall, much taller than me, with a long coat and a mask. He certainly commanded the room, but he wasn't threatening. In fact, he welcomed me with a courteous bow and a handshake. Still, I decided to remain sharp. It's nice to meet you. I gestured to a seat and sat down across from him. I've heard a bit about you through some of my staff, but I'm glad we could sit down and meet formally. He crossed his legs and adjusted his posture as I spoke. Even when sitting, he towered above me. What was with people from Harmonia and being so tall? I couldn't see his expression through his mask, but he nodded in a friendly enough way. What can I help you with? I opted to get straight to the point. I do appreciate the brevity and lack of small talk, as this is a matter of importance. He laced his fingers in front of him on the table. As leader of this planet, I'm sure you're a well-connected individual. I've been searching for a very close friend of mine who I have reason to believe came to this planet not all that long ago. It's been almost 6 years since I last saw her. She goes by the name of Okul. Okul. I grimaced. I wasn't surprised to hear he was searching for her. I was curious what his intentions were. I'm not sure if you've heard, but she has quite the, reputation on this planet. He nodded solemnly. So I've pieced together. Something must have happened since the last time I saw her. Even through the mask and his eloquent speech, I could hear the sadness in his voice. She used to be very different, he lamented. I want to find and hopefully help her to get better. She's dangerous, I warned. If what he was saying was true, he may not be prepared to meet with current-day Okul. You shouldn't go after her alone, if at all. Oh, hi, Angel. Lynn's torture? That was perfect timing, by the way. Lynn's torture? Crazy username. Anyway. She's always been dangerous. She's a warden. But I did my best to help her curb those tendencies. I held my tongue. Comet would never stoop to Okul's level. Okena was misinformed at the least. If you don't mind my asking, he continued, can I get specifics on the crimes she's supposedly being charged for? It must be something noteworthy, as her name seems to be rather taboo amongst you folk. Sure, give me a moment. I reached into my bag and pulled out my datapad. After I pulled up Okel's reports file from the judicial branch, I handed him the tablet. It may not be your experience, but I believe Okel is her own problem. The other wardens who live on Solace are peaceful. Okena gently took the datapad from my hands, but didn't acknowledge my comment. He took a few minutes to read through the reports, sighing heavily as he reached the end. It seems she got the wrong ideas while she worked under me in my rule on Harmonia. His voice trailed off for a moment, lost in thought. She was such a sweet child. It's a shame she became so bitter and angry. I tried giving her religion to help as an outlet, but it seems to have backfired and caught you people in the fallout. He handed me back the datapad and laced his fingers once more. His remorse seemed genuine enough, but what was that about her working for him? She worked for you under you on her home planet? This was news to me. What was her position, if I may ask? I did my best to try and maintain peace, but I'm sure you as a leader know how difficult that can be. Tough decisions had to be made, especially on such a chaotic planet. Okel was the general of my army, and a good one, too. Before my rule, Harmonia was even worse. I wouldn't have been able to help the planet had Okel not been willing to get her hands a little dirty. It was never something she so relished in. It was always just a job to her. Something she knew was necessary. As I said, I can only assume something has happened to her. His tone was a mix of nostalgia and melancholy despite his words. I could never condone violence as a leader, even with all of the chaos on Solace. But I nodded politely anyway. That does give some more context to Okel's behavior. You said the last time you saw her was 6 years ago. Would that have been been around the time of the Great Anomaly, or the mass disappearances that happened at that time? I forgot sometimes that not everyone referred to the anomaly with the same name. Okena nodded. Glad to put a name to such a catastrophic event. I had sent Okel away on a diplomatic mission the day before it occurred. I spent the next 6 years trying to track her down, but it was no use. It was only recently I found evidence of her coming here, and I've still yet to find her. Okena shook his head wearily. It must have been so difficult for her, all those years spent in isolation. I was conflicted. I still didn't know whether or not I could fully trust this man, considering he was still associated with Okel, even if he was against her. Enemy of my enemy may apply here, but I still had a hypothetical gut feeling. I brought up the letter Okel had sent me about Okena and skimmed through it again, pausing on the words, "He's charismatic, dangerously so." She was right about that, but how much of what she said could really be trusted? Perhaps it would be best if I remained cautious. I'd like to know your plans with Okel once you find her. If you was going to find her, I'd at least like her to end up behind bars. I'm willing to assist in whatever way is appropriate, but I'll also warn you that conflict is not well received on this planet. The last thing we needed was another warmonger. I do respect your authority, and I don't plan to wage any sort of futile war in my time here. Something is wrong with Okel. She seems sick, broken. I just want to help her get better. I just want my daughter back. Daughter. Perhaps this was the final piece of the puzzle. Well, I'll see what I can gather regarding recent sightings of her and send them your way. Most of my skepticism had burned away at this point. It seemed like Okena may be genuinely concerned for Okel's well-being. Okena stood up from his chair and took an exaggerated bow. I thank you for your time and for the opportunity to be heard out properly. This planet is lucky to have such a competent leader at the helm. I hope Okel will one day see that as well. I appreciate that, I bowed in return. Please, keep in touch and let me know if you find her. So, what do you guys think of Freya meeting Okena, huh? he just seems like a nice guy, you know? She thinks that he's just wants to help her as his daughter. It is intriguing. Oh, I so wish, forgot to turn on my captions. I so wish that I could have written more stuff this week, but I've just been swamped. Ugh. Let me turn off this thing because I don't need it. Absolutely not. I don't trust this Jack grab their rifles. Oh, but he's just looking for his daughter. That's it. Magos lore. I keep calling him Magos for some reason. Magos. Entry 17. I see how the residents of this broken world look at me. I provided them with everything I know in the medical field for a simple cost, and they dare accuse me of schemes of deceit. Who? Who did this to you? I told them I am no smoke and mirrors. Did they listen? The answer is no. I haven't left this hospital in weeks. Those ungrateful flesh bags don't even thank me for saving them. I put all of my time and effort in making sure people are standing for the next time they make a mess of themselves. A storm is coming. I know it is. I will repair my ship eventually and leave this rock. Maybe then I can finally free what is left of my people from their terrible sickness. O Lord, please with your divine servos, bless me with the strength of iron. May you guide my hands so that I can put together those who are wounded and frightened. Iron within, iron without. Magos isn't too happy. Magos, please don't crash out. You scare me. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate it. He's not just a little guy. He's a really, really tall guy with a mask and a trench coat. But he's just looking for his daughter. That's it. All right. We have violence. Not the clown, but the warning. Okul got stabbed, you guys. Okul got stabbed. This art is just mwah, chef's kiss. It's beautiful. Let's admire it for a minute, shall we? Freya, I am one to fall for villains. This one is a red flag. Alright, but like, I feel like he's less of a red flag than Antoine de Chant, maybe. Maybe. Hooray! Yay! Am I the only one who kind of feels bad for Okul? She's just trying to do her best, you know? She got this while trying to, well, we'll find out. She got this while trying to do something that would benefit the planet, technically. I think Eclipse is kind of cute. I draw the line at Okana. We all know you think Eclipse is kind of cute. Where is the line you draw, Cat? Attempt 2 to apprehend target. These people lack the initiative and conviction to get anything done. If you see Eclipse, do not engage. Or do not attempt to engage. Well, Lady Freya, you certainly won't. I've still led the only attempted execution of Eclipse, and what do I have to show for my efforts to save these pitiful Salacians from the monsters under their bed? Declared a public enemy. Very well, Solace. I'll prove to you why I should take the false idol's place. Eclipse's sorry head will be delivered on a silver platter to the community center by yours truly by tomorrow morning. If I want to find Eclipse, the best place to start is the site of the last ambush, near Frostfire. And since I'm going alone, I won't have to worry about certain individuals getting in the way again. I pack my gear and drop down from Friendship Island, starting the trek to Frostfire and the location of the failed ambush. Upon arriving, I hid amongst the bushes and trees to make sure I wouldn't be spotted by the target. Sure enough, there she is, Eclipse, rummaging amongst the wreckage of her abandoned camp. I observed her for several more minutes, making sure I could be 100% sure it was her. She's not the only of her species on this planet, and it would be a shame to expend such effort on some nobody. I love that, like, it's not that it would be a shame to hurt someone else that didn't deserve it. No, it's a shame that I would expend energy on someone. It's her, for sure. I'd stake my life on it. I unsheath my blade and ready to pounce on the bastard. My legs adjust to the jump, my blade pointed toward her, grip tight on the handle. I jumped from my cover and swung my sword down with as much force as I could muster, but the Anathi moved out of the way. I look up at her, getting a real good look. Why are you here again? The voice was like nails on a chalkboard. I intended to silence it. I pulled my sword from the ground it had pierced and swung again, making contact with the creature's hood and tearing the fabric. I felt a sharp pain in my ribs as Eclipse kicked me down. I rolled and recovered, hiding the pain behind a facade of frustration. Eclipse seemed to scoff in frustration as she pulled out some form of gun, no doubt the same one used to shoot me during our last encounter. In an attempt to disarm her, I lunged for the gun, but she managed to get a shot off before I could get to her. I gripped my right hand in agony as I felt a hole burned completely through it. Through blurred vision, I watched her ready another shot, but this one didn't fire. Instead, the gun emitted an ear-piercing screech, as I can only assume it misfired to some capacity. I fell to the ground in agony as my horns vibrated uncontrollably, a sharp sound piercing through the air as my surroundings became nothing but static. I dropped my sword and brought my hands to my horns in an attempt to block out the noise, but it was futile. A sharp pain pierced downward through my shoulder as I can only assume Eclipse stole my sword and wielded it against me. I felt the blood flow down across the blade as it pierced through the entirety of my torso, nailing me to the ground. The pain remained. My consciousness flowed in and out, the pain never ceasing, but none more coming to me. 07. Uncle Girl Boss a little too close to the sun. Yeah, just a little. Rip Oakle. An unlikely ally. Oop, didn't mean to show that. Just a little mention, there is a small talk of blood and major injury, and each part will be separated by ... It's almost like acts in a play. Some parts will feel rushed and slower. That's on purpose, trust. You will see and it will make sense. Every word has its reason. I spent way too much thought on this because, say it with me, I love lore! Anyway, on with it. This is it? Mars asked, looking out at the towering spruce trees just as I was. I shrugged. This is where Mira ran away from, I replied, turning to look at Mars. I was giving a tour of Frostfire, though, so I'm not even entirely sure where exactly, but I can always just do a few laps around the forest just in case. Mars sighed, crossing her arms with each hand on the opposite elbow as she turned to face me. Be careful, Cookie, she warned. You just got back. I don't want to see you injured again. I set my hands on Mars's shoulders, patting the area somewhat awkwardly. I'll be fine, Mars. Eurillo's been training me. You know that. I paused. And besides, that Mira thing was like 4 days ago. Whatever went after her can't still be out there. We had a blizzard the other day. I know, but still, Mars trailed off. I smiled. You should stay here, I told Mars, despite it being more like an order. If something happens, something should happen. Wait, is this one of the ellipses? No, different ellipses. Something should happen. I don't want you getting injured too. You don't have regenerating like I do, healing powers or not. I patted her shoulders again before I dropped my hands to my hips. My gaze shifted over to Kassam's house, where he stood outside of it with his arms crossed. His annoyance filled the air like snow during a blizzard. Plus, I think Cass needs you, I added. Mars's eyes followed mine while Kassam leaned against the wall near the entrance to his house, his foot tapping against the ground impatiently. After a moment, her eyes met mine again. Okay, but, Cookie, I swear to Eurillo, if you get injured, I'll kill you, Mars promised. I chuckled lightly. She couldn't even harm a fly. She wasn't being serious. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I watched as Mars took my hand and gave it a squeeze before walking away towards Cass. I thought I heard Kassam groan a finally when she reached him. Here's the ellipses. Best 600 doubloons ever spent. As the house door shut behind Kassam, and Mars.
What's your name?
My name is Yuvan Marasani.
How old are you?
I'm 4 years old.
You are the youngest
it
person
echoing?
ever.
Is it echoing to anyone else? Yes? Yeah, why is it echoing? Do I have my stream open? No? That's so weird. Why is it echoing? Bye, Spawn. Okay, hold on. Was it just that, or is it... Hold on.
Lizard.
Okay, that one didn't echo. I echoed?
What's your name?
My name is Yuvan Marasani.
How old
Now
are
it's
you?
not echoing.
I'm 4 years old.
You are the youngest person ever.
The mic echoed? What? I feel like I'm being gaslit. Why is it echoing sometimes? Is it still echoing? I'm so confused. No, okay. Weird. I don't know what that was. I didn't do anything to change it. Anyway. I clicked my tongue. No, wait, here we go. I sighed and looked down at Rhyme, the gift I got from Mr. Angler and the name from Cam. I clicked my tongue twice, then faced forward as I walked into the forest. Come on, Rhyme. I let out a deep sigh. Into the woods we go. Rhyme followed me without a sound. It didn't freeze in the winter. It stayed water. Good. The fawn ran circles around me after walking the opposite direction from where the spruce trees meet the mangrove. A dead end, which means I must go the other way. No, Rhyme, I'm not playing, I reprimanded and listened. It seemed to sense my unease about entering a forest that people have told me Eclipse was in, so it relaxed at my side. Why me, of all people? What did I do to Eclipse to make her swipe half of my skull? While deep in my thought, Rhyme stopped, its tail perked up. I froze mid-step, then crouched beside the fawn. Sense something? I asked, glancing at Rhyme before scanning my surroundings. Just then, I noticed something I would have ignored if Rhyme hadn't stopped and alerted me. Footsteps in the snow. I shifted closer to inspect the imprints. Fresh, I muttered. But as Rhyme sniffed the footprints and my hand inched toward it to inspect further, bang! My head snapped to my left, the air escaping from my lungs like an Irish goodbye. What? I said, what does that mean? CJ, can you inform me what that means? I stayed silent for a while, still, too, unmoving like a memorial statue. Sigh? Shortly after, a high-pitched whirring filled the dead air, as if someone was drilling into a sheet of metal. The sound was like nails on a chalkboard, but I wasn't fazed. Nor was Rhyme. In fact, before I could tell Rhyme in order, it ran into the direction of the sound. Poor CJ? What it's leaving without saying anything. Oh, okay. Interesting. I quickly rose to my feet. Rhyme! I shouted, but it was too late. I thought while looking around the forestry like someone was watching with a camera crew or I was Impractical Joker's next victim. With a frustrated sigh, my sword flashed into my hand as I ran towards the direction Rhyme disappeared in, following the trail of both feet and hooves in the snow beneath my feet. When I saw what Rhyme sensed, my sprint was cancelled out. It took a second for my brain to catch up with my eyes. Rhyme and I had found the camp I was told Eclipse was hiding out in after I was shot, but the person there was not Eclipse. No, someone nicer? Oh my god, I exclaimed as I rushed to the person's side. My sword lay discarded on the powdered floor beside me. Rhyme, get Mars and Kaz now, I ordered, my eyes having met the fawn's before it dashed away. It's when someone leaves a gathering without letting anyone know. It's called an Irish goodbye, ironically, because Irish people say goodbye to everyone or is forced to. Oh, that's kind of funny. Thank you. I didn't know that. Continuing. I addressed the situation, the somber blue liquid mixing with the snow like ink on a slushy, a nasty combination, and it only seemed to spill from the many wounds more and more. Okel? I asked, calling out to see if she was even still alive after the situation she was in. I didn't know Warden anatomy, or if it was even any different from my anatomy, but that doesn't mean I wasn't going to try and help her. My hands lifted her head carefully, though I'm not sure what I expected to find. Okel? I repeated. You with me? My hands moved down to her neck, or what I hoped was her neck, to feel for a pulse, though she still felt warm. Then I took off my jacket to wrap around her and the sword. Thanks, Marina. Thank Marina, it's oversized. Also, this is nitpicky. Technically, you wouldn't hear a bang because the laser guns, the laser weapons, are silent. With the rifle, you might hear like the air getting bzzzt, the thunder noise. So maybe that's the noise? Anyway. It's Krufik, Frostfire's leader. I don't think we've officially met, but I have to say this is an interesting first impression. I joked dryly, speaking for her in hopes she could hear me if she had a speck of life in her. The sound of 2 sets of feet scurrying to get to my location stopped me before I could say another word to the injured warden. Is that... Mars began, but I shut her down. Okul, yes, now help me, I demanded without sparing both her and, who I assumed was, Kassam at a glance. We need to stabilize her before we can take her to the hospital. Cass, help me keep her up and figure out a way to get this sword out of the ground. Mars, can your powers do anything here? Kassam awkwardly walked over to Okul and wrapped his arms under hers to keep her still against the blade, though not as quickly as I would have liked. Mars hesitated while walking to my side as if the inky blood repelled her. I don't know. She isn't a person like us, Mars pointed out. Cass scoffed. Really, Mars? Like that wasn't obvious? Enough, I snapped. Just do something. Wait, not yet, I corrected myself, having almost made a mistake. We can do that before we head to the hospital. The sword is the bigger issue. There was a silence for a moment, or so I thought, since Kassam and Mars could have been speaking, and I wasn't hearing them. Then eventually I figured that if I didn't do something then, Okul would die. I couldn't let the curse take another. Not on my watch. When I snapped back to reality, I noticed Rhyme digging the snow around the blade etched into the ground. That gave me an idea. I quickly shoveled the snow away with my bare hands. The cold barely nipped at my skin. It didn't faze me anymore. My hands held either side of the metal. The sharp edges were already into my skin. But the skin just grew back. This might hurt, Okul, but I have to do it, you understand, I said to her, then pulled and pushed my hands in opposite directions. One made sure the sword didn't worsen Okul's injury, and the other was to create a weak part in the sword. Eventually, the sword snapped. I hastily did the same thing to the other side of the blade, then adjusted my jacket around Okul. Crew, Kassam said as he held up Okul's right arm to show me what seemed like a gunshot wound right through her hand. After I scanned the wound and situation, I gestured Mars over. Do your thing, Mars. Cass, how can we get Okul to the hospital? I asked. Cass thought. In this state, she's probably dead if we walk, but Eurillo can teleport. Okay, then I'll go with Eurillo to the hospital. You two stay here, but be careful. This was probably Eclipse. Mars let out a heavy breath, then leaned back as Rhyme sat in her lap. I can't do it anymore, she informed me with breaths one would have from running a marathon. Okay, that's okay. Get Eurillo. I muttered to her as I took off my purple bandana wrapped around my arm and wrapped it around Okul's hand. You're going to be okay, Okul. Stay with me, all right? No response other than some weak breath sounds. As if he was summoned, Eurillo spawned behind me. He must have immediately understood the situation because he put a hand on both Okul and I and teleported us to the emergency room in the hospital, almost right away, too. Before he did, I made sure I had Okul steady so she didn't go into shock while Mars and Cass stood back. When we got there, the workers immediately got to work on Okul, but I could see the disdain in their eyes. She's still a person. Why can't anyone understand that? I stayed until she got out of surgery, barely listening to what the weird doctor had to say as I stood at her bedside while holding the piece of her sword they mangled to salvage. Rhyme hopped up onto the bed and rested by Okul's legs that were strapped to the bed, just like her wrists were. It must have spawned beside me and I hadn't noticed. Keep watch, Rhyme, I directed. Tell me if something happens. And with that, I departed to Frostfire, determined to fix that sword. Oh, wow, fixing her sword and everything? You know, good on you. Even though Okul has done many bad things, good on you. I speak of experience of the second option. Search missions 2 and 3 and faction list. I've realized not all the factions have areas. Fantastic. Just brilliant. So I've been searching for this stupidly dumb news report thing for ages, and it doesn't even have a base of operation? Are you kidding me? Is a map that hard to make? On better news, I suppose, I got Croy's projector back from the meeting building. Still broken, though. The glass bit at the end of the long part cracked, and the stand completely came off. He must have dropped it by accident. He's usually careful when carrying things, not wanting the thing to fall through his hand. Either that, or he didn't care and was sad or angry and dropped it on purpose. The first option is what I'm hoping for. The factions I searched today were Noctal, Moontouch Kingdom, Frost and Fur, and the Monastery. The Monastery was weird. I think it's a religion or cult. It had a giant pit behind the altar. I couldn't see the bottom. There were creepy whispers and noises coming from it. I decided to just leave it alone after calling Croy's name a few times. Croy probably wouldn't have gone down there anyway. He's smart. He wouldn't jump down into a void pit. I also didn't know that that god of tales, Balios. I didn't know he died. I found his grave in the Moon-Touched Kingdom. It was a bit damaged and dug up. Did someone come by and take his body? Are they going to eat him like a dead animal? That isn't fair. He was nice. Why are all the nice adult-like people getting hurt and taken away? It was Mr. Skullhammer first. I don't think I like knowing that people died. It makes water itch in my eyes. I can't see well already. I don't need to be blinded more. I need my eyes to find Croy. I checked Noctile and Frostfur. It was very cold in both areas. Noctile had purple trees and a bunch of flowers. It was pretty. There were big furry creatures with round ears and long grumpy faces. Both of the places made me feel a little better. I'm starting to understand sort of why Croy likes these places so much. Maybe I can learn about the history a bit at some point. I was heading home afterwards and took a route through a forest which brought me into a big field. I'm saying this place was huge. The grass was really tall too. It was getting dark by then, but I saw a person there. I think they were sad. They were just curled up and lying in the cold. I don't think that's safe. I didn't want to scare them, so I snuck by. I noticed something, though. There were long lines on their back. I wonder if those were injuries. They looked like they hurt. I wonder what caused them if they are. Third mission. I didn't get to search as many factions this time, just the librarians and the the captain's faction, Arcturus. I think I spelled it wrong. Anyways, not important. Why were these areas so hard to find? The Arcturus wasn't the worst. There was a giant ship and signs saying, hey, this is our land, go away. So I just followed that. But there was no Croy. I did find Star Lady's treehouse, though, and a cabin that the captain lives in, I think. It looks cozy. I thought it'd be a bit less so, honestly. I didn't stay long because both the Stardust Lady and the captain were there. I might go back to double check, but I don't think Croy will be there. The library is so cool. Not exactly what I imagined, but I love it. I may or may not have read 10 books, but can you blame me? It's just unlimited stories. I can come here before going to sleep and read these, or Croy can bring me then take me home after. He had to be here at some point. There's no way he wasn't. It's a place full of history and tales and myths and origins and legends. We both love all of that. Admittedly, I would have taken some of the books to read later, but the head librarian was there, so I couldn't. They're one of the angry people at faction meetings that fights with the clown a lot. I named the clown Fury Mask. They're going to end up punching each other at some point, but I kind of hope they won't. We have too many people in the hospital. I went to see Zin in the hospital, actually. I managed to sneak in by distracting the receptionist. I may or may not have thrown a brick at the wall, and they freaked out and ran outside, giving me time to run inside. They didn't notice me at all. I'm amazing. I can still be sneaky. I found her room after a bit. I kept wandering and getting lost. Turns out I walked past it about 10 times. They should really put the names on the doors or something. Oh, who's in this room? Occupied. Oh, wow, who's in the room next door? Occupied. I thought that was funny. I don't know. I feel jittery writing about this. I'm sorry. Why am I apologizing to a book? I went inside and she was asleep. I called her name. I shook her arm. She wasn't waking up, which was weird. Is she that badly hurt? Was she ignoring me? No, she's okay. She only had bandages on her head. She's just a really deep sleeper, I think. She also had a machine that kept beeping. It was on time with her breaths that made her chest rise and fall. I let her rest and put some cookies on a nearby table with a few vases of flowers. There were ones I found in a bakery near the meeting building. I called the owner Miss Bread, since she gave Croy sweetbread to give to me. I liked them a lot. I sat down at the end of the bed she was in on the floor and waited. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to make sure she was okay. I didn't want to leave her in case she was hurt again or needed something when she woke up. I fell asleep. I'm not sure for how long. It was until someone nudged me awake. It took me a while to fully remember my surroundings until a familiar voice rang out, calling my name and asking if I was all right. It was Copper, the old kind man I met on my first search mission. He helped me up to my feet and made sure I was all right, even adjusting my trench coat, since the hood was a bit wonky. I didn't question it at the time, since it wasn't something front and center in my head. He behaved as if I'd known him for a while. Copper was the one who had brought Zin to the hospital. I had to know what happened. He had to know something, and he did. It was that dumb prophet again. Can she just not keep her hands to herself? Zin did nothing to her. The only time they interacted that I know of was when they went on that stupid search party. I'd started pacing back and forth, and Copper just watched me quietly, his arms folded behind his back. He didn't say a single word, just watching me with that one eyeball through that helmet mask of his. He was only staring because he didn't understand what I was mumbling about. That was intentional. It ended with me sitting back down, this time on the edge of Zin's bed by her knees. She had wires in her. She looked paler. People aren't supposed to look like this when they sleep, even deep sleepers. Maybe that was just how she rested? She looked cold, though. Why were there yellow flowers coming out of her shoulder? Copper rested his hand on my shoulder, which brought me out of my thoughts. He told me that Zin needed rest, and that I could come visit her another day, that she would be awake soon, that I could talk to her and she would respond. He walked with me down the hallways and out the door, a few words and a confused glance being shared by the receptionist as they looked at me. I didn't meet their gaze. I felt a little guilty for what I did earlier to distract them. I thought Copper was just walking me out for us to part ways, but he asked the first time we met. Have you seen Okul? I was angry then, so I snapped at him, saying that that woman shouldn't be his friend, that she should be left in the past like the old friend she was to him. I even questioned him about being like her, about wanting to help her even, take solace into their hands and play with the people like dolls. My words stopped making sense, and I just stopped trying to talk. I just turned away and tugged at my hair to get my words to stop filtering from my brain to my tongue while it was tied. I was tired of trying to explain myself and my thoughts, to try to show my reasoning for it, not like anyone would listen or try to understand. But strangely enough, Copper tried. He didn't yell. He didn't try to defend himself. He apologized and understood why I was suspicious. He promised me that he had no ill intent that matched the blind executioner. He just wanted to find her, to try to solve this peacefully. But he could only do that if he knew where his old friend was. I didn't answer, still tugging at my hair, to which Copper pulled my hands away and told me to stop doing that, told me to breathe, and that this wasn't my fault, that everything would be fine. It helped. Copper equals Okena. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I know. It helped. I was still frustrated, but it lessened a bit. It slowed my mind. Copper left after a bit, mentioning that he was still keeping an eye out for Croy. I'm sitting outside the hospital on one of the benches. Copper feels trustworthy. He seems to know what he's doing, or he could be tricking me, and what I said was true. I don't care. I don't care what kind of hands this planet lays in, ones that cradle or ones that crush. I just want to be left with the people who are nice to me, who deserves it. Whoever is left, at least. And here's the faction list. Talisker Sky is left, Lilac, Willowbrook, Allium Field, Independent Researchers, Just the News. I thought Just the News, well, Just the News doesn't have a thing, I guess that was found out. Zeracol, Stellaris, Frostfire, Or, and Sue NC. I know, Kronlore is great. The music stop, or is it? Oh, just quiet. Frey's Journal, October 9, 2497. An odd pair of events have occurred. Yesterday, I met with Okena, the man Okul had warned me about, and today, Okul has been brought into the Keepers of Solace hospital severely injured. I've been considering whether or not to contact Okena about this since he's looking for her. Maybe I should wait until she was recovered. This is before what happened with Okul. I should have said this earlier. Alright, keep that in mind. From Light. A nice act. Light was working to restock healing potions in the hospital. She had made some extra and figured that it would do some good to add to the hospital's stockpile. Her ears twitched to the sound of the doors opening. A chill ran up her spine as she heard the wails of spirits and guessed who it was. She walked into the reception area and saw Okena. She had to bite down a growl. She still didn't like him. The feathers on her wings puffed up. "Good evening, Okena," she said, sounding nice despite the looks she gave him. He looked surprised to hear her voice. Okena hadn't recognized her. She didn't blame him for it. He hadn't seen her with her wings yet. "Ah, I didn't recognize you, little dragon," Okena said, still sounding like a kind man. "Just call me Light," Light said coldly. "I'm guessing that you're still here to visit Zinnia. That you are here to visit Zinnia." "If that is all right," he replied. Light sighed and gestured for the man to follow her. She led Okena to Zinnia's room. She stayed nearby, watching him. She didn't trust him. Once he was done with his visit, Light walked him out of the hospital. "Light, what business did you have here?" Okena asked as they walked. "I was adding some healing potions to the hospital stockpile," Light replied, her tone sharp as a blade. Okena looked at her. "A potion maker, are you?" "One of the things I can do," she replied cryptically. She wasn't about to reveal that she had the ability to see and hear spirits or any of the other abilities of hers. The older man chuckled. Light stopped at the entrance of the hospital. She and Okena watched each other carefully. "You mean Okul Harm, don't you?" she asked, watching as a hint of malice flashed in the tall man's visible eye. It was gone in seconds, and he acted as if he hadn't just looked like he was going to murder the girl in front of him. "What gave you that idea, little dragon?" he asked, playing the nice man. Light's eyes narrowed. "A hunch," she said calmly. Just a really good hunch. She grabbed the door handle and glared at Okena one last time as she closed it and turned to walk back into the storage room to continue storing healing potions. I love everyone's, like, interpretations of Okena, of, like, what is he doing? Alright. Now we see what happened to Comet. This is a animation that Comet and I commissioned of the Eclipse and Comet fight, and I think it ended up being really cool. It doesn't have any sound, though. Comet get eclipsed. Ta-da! Peak. And we have some more peak here. With Comet after being stabbed. Comet is so far the only person to, like, you know, be oh my gosh, my cats are yelling outside. The only one to, like, really be an equal, you know? Get that lizard! So true. Hold on, I'm being messaged. Aww, I got a beef picture. I'm asking if I can show this beef picture because she's so cute. Alright, you guys want to see how cute beef is? Look at her! Look at her! Baby beef! She's so cute. It's getting cold enough that she is just loving cuddling up in the blankets. She's adorable. I can't wait to see her. I have a few edits I need to post to this I've been holding on to ever since I got the commission back. We have a call. Shit, 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 they muttered to themselves as they fumbled with the unfamiliar communication device, their hands slick with the dark liquid. The stupid little device. Their blindness made it hard to see the screen. Who do they even call? Obsidia's off planet on a job, Mira's still in the hospital, Eleanor probably doesn't even know where the library is. They wouldn't be able to bring themselves to the hospital at this rate. As the static in their head and limbs started to grow, Comet dialed the last person they talked to. Hello? Cam, Comet let out a sigh of relief. Are you still coming to pick up the new books from Lilac? I've got a few ones that seem interesting. No, Comet interrupted, concentrating on their words, forcing them out, forcing them to make sense in their head. Scratches and slashes they could deal with, but a proper stab wound? They felt more of the urge to meld into the ground and become skulk grow with each minute. But someone needed to go after Eclipse. Eclipse was here. They heard the man on the other end stand up. Is she still there? Are you okay? She had a knife. I beat her up pretty well. She ran away. Someone needs to go after her. Comet pressed their back against the rough brick wall of the library before sliding down it. The warden heard Cam pause. Comet, did she stab you? Comet let out a soft chuckle. Yeah. What? The man shouted. They heard scrambling from the other end. I'm on my way. Stay there. Comet readjusted their position to sit up more. I need to go after Eclipse. She's heavily injured. So are you, Cam responded, exasperated. Don't go anywhere. I'm on my way. Comet heard the call drop. They looked up to the moonless sky, the stars being the only thing illuminating the dark outdoors as the sun set. Wait, how would they see this? Or I guess, I don't know how their eyes work. But how would they tell? Anyway. Then they looked around from their position on the ground. How exactly did Eclipse even get here? It was then that they spotted something out of place in the familiar area. A small object. Did Eclipse leave it behind? Comet began to crawl over. Bro, I wrote this on my lunch break. I don't know. Fair enough. It was then that they spotted something out of place in the familiar area. A small object. Did Eclipse leave it behind? Comet began to crawl over, still clutching their abdomen. It was a book, and it was one they didn't have in their collection. Their free hand, still covered in the dark green liquid, opened it up to inspect its contents. A schedule? I still think, like, blind librarian is the funniest. Like, librarian is the funniest occupation the comic started working in. Comic can see. Frey's Journal, October 9, 2497. Scribbled frantically. Eclipse attacked Comet. They're alive, in the hospital, sending out an emergency meeting schedule through comms. Reminder to thank Eleanor again for those devices. Speaking of Eleanor, a friend in need. There's gonna be another 30,000 words. I tease. It was supposed to be a productive evening, or at least one of myself. The ship was dark, save for the lights in my quarters. I was hunched over the desk, papers strewn everywhere with scribbles of theoretical math. If anyone had seen me, they certainly would have seen a raving madwoman. My comms device pinged, forcing my mind to break from the strings of numbers and integers. It was a message from Comet. I lived, bitch. The pen clattered onto the table as I dropped it and grabbed the jacket from beside the door, haphazardly tossing it over my shoulders and snatching a small bottle of brandy from the shelf on my way out. If they were hurt, this was at least something to look forward to. I cursed myself, remembering the promise I had made them following the assassination attempt on Frostfire territory. I still owed them drinks. Tucking the bottle into a small bag, I stepped out into the open air, and not wasting any time, began to jog to the hospital. You got a friend in need? They got stabbed like Swiss cheese? Or are you dropping bars in chat? I never thought I'd be rushing to a hospital to check on someone, let alone on this damn planet, but fate had a strange way of twisting itself. I need to make a fucking bridge across this body of water, or a tunnel. Either way, the boat was not a good option. 20 minutes felt like hours as I finally reached the entrance of the hospital. I stopped to catch my breath and ensure I was presentable. Despite the situation, there was an image to uphold. Following the straightening of my jacket, I stepped inside. Several strange looks and questions later, I finally got pointed in the direction of where Comet had been taken. It was a hospital, to be blunt, and I admit it was a struggle to even step inside. Memories of cybernetics recovery floating back. I shoved them away without a second thought. I was here to check on my friend, on Comet. They sat almost perfectly still against the hospital bed. Their pale skin looked worse than it usually did. Like I said, I lived, bitch! I can't help but want to read that in, like, Jesse from Breaking Bad. Bitch! They smirked as I entered the room. My eyes instinctively took in the room. Cam stood off to the side and I gave a polite nod, which he returned. What the hell happened? I asked, seeing the mass of bandages around their stomach and a pile of gauze on a nearby crash cart. Strangely, the gauze was green. I decided not to think about that for now. They got stabbed by Eclipse and didn't leave with that explanation, Cam said incredulously, staring daggers at Comet. Oh, what the fuck, Comet? I lived, bitch? That's all you could send? I sighed, rubbing my temple only to find the same grin plastered across their face. Well, I did. I thought you of all people would have a sense of humor. They bantered, and I couldn't argue that. I shook my head and pulled the bottle of brandy from the bag, placing it on the side of the table. On the side table. Brought this for you, and I still owe you drinks. I rolled my eyes, but matched their grin as I pulled a chair over to their bed. Yes, you do, they replied dryly. Wow, guys, I'm not invited? Cam spoke, faux indignation across their face before breaking into a smile. We'll plan a night, but I owed them drinks after that interrogation, I replied, not dropping the jovial attitude. If the mood could be kept up in the air, that was the best-case scenario. The chatter faded into the background as my thoughts fought their way to the forefront of my mind. Solace wasn't safe, not by a long shot. We need to either have a competent police force, which comes with the drawback of bureaucracy, or training the individuals, which has its own issues. Shaking myself back to reality, I joined the chatter between Comet and Cam. Comet was alive. That's what mattered now. Those were future problems, and problems for Solace as a whole. Comet? Sense of humor? Of course! Questioning. Maybe I should do this? Maybe? Well, you guys can't see it anyway. Whatever. Hey again, imaginary diary, or something along the lines of that. As of recently, I felt as if I've been losing a grip from my reality. Going loco, as some might say. I constantly feel sick, probably over grievance. But why? They're already dead. They've been for a long time now. I shouldn't feel this way for such an extended period of time, right? I think it's better if I were to cut that topic, so I may as well give an update to myself. Though I keep acting as if I'm speaking to somebody. Anyways, as of recently, I went to go and visit my good friend Feather, who has been at the hospital. Sure do hope that she doesn't kick the bucket. Other than my little prayers, I ran into a few familiar faces, and infuriating ones at that. The one that caught me red-handed, that, Frog, was it? Feather called her Frog, yeah. Even worse, though, that abomination that goes by the name of Lucky. I'll be honest here, as honest as a man could be. I had no intentions of fighting them, not after Feather introduced me to them. That'd feel wrong. Lucky, though, Lucky decided that it'd be a good idea to make a big disruption and get us all kicked out. If that wasn't enough to annoy anyone, that rodent decided to pick a physical fight with me. The little rascal even had the audacity to punch me square in the gut. Now, if you have any self-respect for yourself, you wouldn't just take that, and hitting me isn't any sort of exception from that rule. I made sure that I returned the favor. Absolutely hurt the hell out of that beef-headed lassie, I bet you that. Her friend, though, seemed too scared. It reminded me too much of someone. I couldn't bear to stay around and fight anyways. I left back to my roost not long after that little tussle. Get it? Roost? Anyways, as I was saying, just me, my hay barrels, my feathered pals, and my trusty horse, Buckley. Perfection. But I now reckon, am I among the willows? I ain't all too sure if this place is exactly too fond of my behavior, but hey, no authorized complaints as of now. Not like they can catch me anyways. From what? Rotwood. Check lore discussion? Why? I lived, bitch! I lived, bitch! I didn't live, bitch! Or I lost my hand? Hard? That's so sad. Well. Oh, we don't have any days. This is gonna be this is an eclipse log for those who are not familiar.
These people are fucking crazy. First they raid my camp, then one of them leaves a note with info about this Comet person. One of the ones on my list. Helpful, I guess, but I'm not going to question why it ended up in my camp. Then, this morning, one idiot from the camp raid group came back to fight me again? I made the mistake of underestimating tonight's target based on that encounter. I'm not doing too hot. I can't handle another fight like that, and Comet's still on my list. I may have to get a little more creative. For now, though, I need to stay low profile.
After being confronted one time... Okay, to be fair, Eclipse... Okay. So Eclipse encountered Casimir and Villo first. Casimir, you know, was himself. Villo just straight up just gave her all the information that she wanted, and was just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. And then, encountered a bunch of other people. Like, Mira ran after her. And then, like, apparently one of them, like, gave... Like, someone left Comet's schedule on the ground, which we heard about. And, like, yeah. And then now, like, Okul they had the whole, like, group that came and tried to attack her, and she's like, what is going on here? And then Okul came back and got her ass beat. And then she's like, oh, okay. Warden's not that big a deal. And then got her ass beat by Comet for underestimating them based on Okul. Anyway. What? See, my thought was that Eclipse just, like, slit his throat or something. Super simple. He's dead. Use it to scare Villo. But no, you've come up with, like, some crazy stuff that she did to Casimir. Alright. Transcript. Let me open this up. And we got this.
I'm late. Waters? Hello?
Waters is not here right now. Would you like me to send a message?
Ciros, that's what you're called, right? I didn't know you could speak here. What? What do you mean Waters isn't here? He's always here. Ciros, please. It's an emergency. Where's Waters?
I know she
Waters is
actually
en
tried
route to the Moon-Touched Kingdom. Significant injuries detected. Status unconscious. Vital signs unstable.
What? What does that... What happened? Is he dying?
Negative. Waters is healing.
Healing. Right. From what, though?
Confrey can inform you of that at the
You
time.
useless fucking machine. You useless fucking machine. What can you tell me?
Irregular image detected on Seoul's Community Center camera, garden bath. Could you like me to send the copy of the footage to your station?
Yeah. Do that.
Dude, violence kind of scares me. Actually, violence scares me a lot. His crash out would be very scary. Laughter, Gatsby lore. Oh my god. You know what we haven't seen in a while? Gatsby video. I need Gatsby's input on stuff. I want to put violence in a box and shake him. The plate that I... Oh, let me turn on the music again. The plate that I designed with my own hand shatters and breaks to the ground. Why must everything be so difficult to set up? My assistant Kevin would probably say a few things like he always does. Another broken dish by the so-called Great Gatsby! Ha! He sneered. Speak of the devil. Why was he so ungrateful? I helped him from the slums of this village. I made sure his family stayed safe. As for our deal, all I can hear is his laughter as he mocks me. And all of a sudden I see myself back in the Golden Courthouse. The courts and the audience laugh at my misfortune. They laughed as they took everything from me. I can feel my once calm hand shift and turn to metal. Whack! There were screams. Whack! Gatsby, please, stop! Whack! 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 I need the bonk. Someone redeem 3 bonks. When I came to, I saw what mess of Kevin that he created. I could see how the once clean rocks that lined this river now ran with a warm red. It looked like he slipped and fell down onto these rocks. Sorry, the deal is off. Yeah, that's what happened. Got bonked. Bro got bonked. I was gonna make a reference with the water in the river turning red from blood. I'm gonna make a reference to one of the songs in my next album, but I realized that probably none of you will, like maybe one of you will recognize the reference, so. You'll do great things. Didn't give me that time. Nice try, Mika. My son, I know you'll grow to do great things. You have a choice now. Me and your mother will no longer be here to guide you. You're a man now, but I know whatever choice you make, we'll be proud of you. Harmonia is a lawless land. People are being hurt every day. I hope you find a way to help these people, save them. I hear they're in need of doctors down south. You always excelled at medical tasks when they were called for. But of course, if that's not what you want to do, you don't have to. Whatever you end up doing, I'm sure we'll hear. You'll do great things. Everyone will know the name of the great Okena. I love you, son. Me and your mother both love you. Okena had a loving family? Oh, it's so over. Trigger warning, death! Who's dying? Truffle told me that they needed to speak to me. Hopefully it's nothing to worry about. As I walk into my cafe... Wait, who is this again? Oh, Zenthira. I see Truffle sitting at the corner table, their posture tense, eyes flicking to the window as if they're already halfway gone. I try to brush off the unease, forcing a smile as I approach. There's something different about the air today. heavy, expectant, like the world is holding its breath. Hello, Truffle. To what do I owe this pleasure? I say, trying to sound casual, hoping to lighten the tension. I'm going to sneeze. My voice echoes just a bit too loudly in the quiet room. Hello, Sarah. I need to talk to you about Ambush. You need to control him. Truffle's words are clipped, almost desperate. I sigh, casting my gaze to the floor for a heartbeat. I wish I could, I really do, but... Truffle, you know I can't control. Get a hold of yourself. Whatever voices you got in your head who are telling you who knows what, they tried to kill me. I've escaped death too many times to be hanging around someone who might be the end to my end this time, especially because I'm weak right now. I'm sorry, but... The anger wells up fast, hot and blinding. I feel myself trembling, my fingers curling and uncurling at my sides. Not again. Not here. Not now. I try to swallow it down, but it claws at my insides, demanding to be heard. Get out. What? I said, get out. Actually, I'll do one better. I'll leave. Don't come looking for me, you fucking clown. My voice is cold, final. I don't wait for a response. I walk out of my bakery, the bell above the door clanging behind me, drowning out whatever Truffle tries to say. My footsteps echo on the cracked sidewalk as I hurry away from them, away from Ambush, away from this stupid planet with its stupid leader. My chest is tight, my breath shallow. All I wanted was a break from violence, and fear. Just a moment of peace. But now, Freya has let another person get attacked by Eclipse. Honestly, I might as well find Eclipse, give them a pat on the back, because at least they know what they're doing, right? I think Okul was right. We need a different leader, someone with experience, or at least someone who wasn't so dumb-witted that they let their own people get killed or go missing. And someone has went missing. Yet what has Freya done? Nothing. Yeah, Freya... I feel so bad because all these people went missing right as I'm trying to, go get prepared to move. I haven't been able to make anything. I've been wanting to make Freya reacting to all of these people going missing, to, more of the stuff with Comet, visit Comet at the hospital. Okay, Okul being in the hospital, Okana being here. I want to do another Freya and Marcelo talking to each other, going on a cute date. I can't right now. I literally have to turn off my PC tonight and pack it. Ah! So, I'm sorry. I was going to be like, yeah, Freya is doing things, but I can't. It's okay. It's in character, I guess. I stumble into a side alley, leaning against the cold brick. I need to calm down. I'm making my energy spike up, and that's not... Mama? The small body materializes in front of me, eyes wide and shining with a familiar light. No, I couldn't have. My energy spikes and crashes all at once, leaving me dizzy. I'm sorry, little one. I wish I could have been there for you. My child, Zenithra. Zenithra, not Zenthira. Oh my god, I've been saying it wrong. I gather them into my arms, trembling. For the first and last time, I get to hold my own child, feeling the weight of everything I've lost, everything I've failed to protect. A sudden deafening roar splits the air, an explosion, close and violent, rattling the world apart. The ground shakes beneath my feet as the sky flashes white. My body moves on instinct, curling protectively around Zenithra, but I know it's too late. The world is coming undone, and all I can do is hold on. Explosionnoises.mp4. How kids are made? Can I read that? My lore is gonna be therapy for Freya. Freya doesn't need therapy. She's fine. For now. Although having comment, oh man, I wish that I could. I probably should write more stuff. I could do it on my laptop. About Freya, cause she's freaking out. I mean, Comet is a fairly close friend. Me? Why me? I've gone to therapy many times, many years. I'm good. I have good coping mechanisms now. And I have a good partner. Why did that link? Don't click on it. Not character. Why do I need therapy? I do not need therapy. Please do read How Babies Are Made. It's called How Kids Are Made, and now I'm even more suspicious. For the context, you will need to know how kids from a species are made. I promise it's nothing bad, please. So there are 3 ways Velithari are born. No parents. These are rare, but they can happen. They're made from stars that were dying and shaped into a Velithari to burn less energy. 2 parents. When 2 Velithari mix their energy, they can create a dying star of their own, making a small child. Think around 3 to 4 years old is the age they act and look when being born. 1 parent. When a Velithari has too much energy and doesn't want to become bigger to burn said energy, they can create a child. Though sometimes this can take the life of the Velithari that created it and whatever is connected to it. So that's what happened. Uh-oh. You are a parent now. Zenithra. Connected to this, okay. I tried to confront Seraphine about what happened on Wednesday with Ambush. Don't get me wrong, that girl has my trust. She was one of the first people I had met on Solace and was kind to me for being a stranger. I really feel bad for doing this right before the meeting, knowing what it was about. Eclipse had once again attacked someone and nothing had changed except for a fresh reminder in the public's mind of what a threat she still was. And still, I'm willing to bet that Freya will do nothing. However, I'm not as inactive as she is. Ambush was too big of a threat for me to simply ignore. First, he controlled my body against my will and tried to assassinate Freya. I wished to do the same, but Ambush was simply careless about it and didn't even work. If Freya wasn't so naive as to not realize what had happened, I'd probably end up like Belios. And now, he quite literally kidnapped and tortured me for fun. I still have lingering wounds that my body couldn't heal because I didn't have enough energy. Luckily, gauze and bandages did the trick, but I still felt incredibly sick. I told her to meet me at her cafe. Maybe she'll feel better if we were somewhere familiar, somewhere she was in control. My leg wouldn't stop shaking. I don't know why I had such a bad feeling about this. Seraphine soon came through the door, bell jingling. She seemed too happy for it to be real. Hello, Truffle. To what do I owe this pleasure? Either she was blind to the obvious tension or she was trying to ignore it. Her voice rang just a bit too loudly in the otherwise silent room. Hello, Sarah. I need to talk to you about Ambush. You need to control him. My words were choppy, not coming out the way I wanted to. I was still scared. Feels like I've always been scared since I came here, threat after threat. I just wanted to be at least tiny bit safer. Truffle, you know I can't control. All my pent-up rage and fear came out at once. More than half of it wasn't even directed at Seraphine. Seraphine or Seraphine? I think it's Seraphine? Whatever. I just needed to get it out. Get a hold of yourself. Whatever voices you got in your head who are telling you who knows what, they tried to kill me. I've escaped death too many times to be hanging around someone who might be my end this time. Especially because I'm weak right now. I'm sorry, but get out. Her words were sharp, enraged. What? My voice didn't feel like my own, faint and barely there. Seraphine? Seraphine, thank you. I said, get out. Actually, I'll do one better. I'll leave. Don't come looking for me, you fucking clown. She slammed the door behind her. Bells jingling for too long, like a reminder of what I had just done. Fiend? Fane? You're spelling it Fiend. Okay. Because F-E-I-N would be like Fane. Anyway, Fiend. F-E-E-N. Fiend. Seraphine. My heart, sank. I had just yelled at one of my only friends for no reason. Not no reason. A reason she couldn't even control. Even worse. I decided the worst thing I could do would be to just sit there contemplating what had just happened. It took me a few seconds to get out the door, getting dizzy when I stood up too fast. But as soon as I was out the door, I ran trying to find her to apologize. Finally, I heard her voice in the middle of an alleyway. Zenithra. Who was... I didn't get a chance to even think before my ears were ringing with the aftermath of some kind of loud bang. My vision went white and I was knocked back with the force of an explosion. I was coughing, wheezing, hacking up dust. My vision and hearing soon returned. Luckily, I shakily got up, wincing at some blood that had pooled on the ground. I half expected to just pass out right there, but I completely froze when I heard it. A child's cry. I stumbled into the alleyway, practically covered in dust and clutching onto 3 slightly charred red ribbons. A child that was nearly the spitting image of Seraphine. They were sobbing. I tried to ignore the fact that Seraphine was nowhere to be seen. Again with the clown hate. Didn't get me that time. My body felt like it was on autopilot as I took off my vest, gently putting the oversized clothing item around the child. I picked them up and just started running. I ran until I got to the Joker's corner. It felt oddly silent and empty, just more reminders of the lingering threats that Freya refused to address. I couldn't help but wonder how long it would be until they got me and ended me for good. I took the child down into the basement and I called home and tucked them into my bed. The med kit from my home clinic was still in the bottom drawer of my nightstand. They only had a few burn wounds, luckily. Any more injuries and I would have had to take them to the hospital.
You were the youngest person ever.
I treated the burns. They'd already fallen asleep. How could I continue on like normal when I kept thinking about the dust-covered alleyway and how I didn't see Seraphine? Somewhere in my mind, she was just sulking in the corner of her bakery eating bread. I thought that was the only thing that could get me through preparing for the meeting. I got the child some different clothes, sewn from some of my old ones. even though it wasn't much. I prepared some sandwiches for the both of us. I would have to make an announcement about this, wouldn't I? So that's the little kid that was following you around. Warden down! Where's my, hold on. Soundboard. Warden down! Or maybe like this one. No, this is a fantastic piece of artwork. CC never fails. Ah, so good. And I love it paired with the Okel. Where's the Okel art? Here we go. Just so good. Two Okels. I mean, two Wardens. Okel and Comet. Two different outcomes. Log 8. Onyx is getting worse. I think he's gonna die soon. I don't know how to prevent this. I don't have any way to bring him back once he dies. Maybe this world will be faithful and allow him to be a ghost like it allowed me to. I don't want to lose him. He's my son. If I lose him, I don't know what I'd do. I hate it so much. I wish I could just make all his pain disappear. Judging by his condition, he has less than a week left. I wish there was more I could do. Two Okels? No. Freya, have you seen Okel from another dimension? Another dimension?! Timestamps. Lordon with Lick, Knight, Oboe, Violence, and Belios. Did I just say Lick, Knight? Light and Nick. Everything comes at crossroads. This place, right after Frog talks with Okana. Alright. We're gonna go into YouTube mode. Hello? There we go. Alright, let me go through the things here. Okay. Dented is silly moments. So we'll watch everything up to 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Alright.
Maybe I shouldn't have told Okana that.
Oh,
this is a nice flower.
YouTube's GUI is different. It's weird. What the hell?
Maybe I should bring it to Belios' memorial.
I don't like it. None of us like change. Just kidding. It's not that bad. The audio's distorted? Hold on. What's going on? Let me listen to it.
Shouldn't have told Okana that. Should bring it to Belios' memorial.
Yeah, wait, why is it not?
It's getting late. I better get to my boat.
It is really, distorted. Hang on. It was just the music? Because if something's wrong, let me know. I can restart my audio engine.
Maybe I shouldn't have told Okana that.
It's just the music. Okay.
Oh, this is a nice flower. Maybe I should bring it to Belios' memorial. It's getting late. I better get to my boat.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
What you doing here?
leaving the hospital? I thought you were gone already.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
It's
but
always
then
crouching.
I forgot something.
Oh.
Imagine him
Did you see
walking
that
around
person
like
Yeah.
this.
that was sitting on the
What
bench
person?
by the hospital?
No, no.
really tall.
There was a person.
Yeah.
Look, man. There's a lot of tall people here. You need to be more specific.
They had a mask that you could only see like one eye, and
That's
they were
sounds
kind. I don't know.
frightening.
Violence says
Not
That's kind
really.
of scary.
Well, yeah, at first, but not,
A mask
not
with one
Yeah.
eye,
Yeah.
but they were nice.
Scoliosis.
Did they say anything to you?
Well, they said they were looking for Okul.
Why are they looking for Opal?
They said. Oh, they said that they were friends with Okul and were looking for them.
So, are they really a good person?
That is a very good question.
That is a
Um,
very good question.
I get the feeling that they are a good person.
Okay, see, it sounds like this person, because I mean, obviously, I haven't seen them, and you just found out who they were. Are they? Do you think they're new?
Well, I think didn't
Kron.
Lights
Not
talk
Kron.
about seeing him and talking with him at the faction meeting, the last one?
I am gonna be so real with you. I pay no attention to anyone except for a few people.
Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't know
Didn't
that.
give
Sorry
me.
to have overheard,
Hi, Light.
but
Oh, hey, Light.
hi,
Hello.
And hey,
I
guy.
just want to confirm
Oh.
that I did talk about Okana at the meeting.
So
I'm Odo, by the way.
I'm Violence. I'm a clown. Thank you.
I love clowns.
Thank you.
And I'm Frog. I'm a Frogger.
I also love frogs.
Yay. So I don't exactly remember the faction meeting completely.
Nerves of
What did
steel.
you think about Okana?
I didn't trust him. I still don't. He gave me a sense of just danger.
Oh.
Hmm.
We're not gonna
Hmm.
talk about that clip of me saying I'm rock hard, okay?
So,
Who are we talking
We'll
about?
talk about that.
Okana
Me
just-
personally,
what I
I
meant.
don't know.
I've heard this Okul name before. I was exploring at one point and I found this huge house surrounded by a large wooden wall, and there was a letter to some person named General Okul. Someone was
Oh, hey, look,
apologizing.
someone got a clip of me saying that had nerves of steel and I was not going to be scared by the job application jump scare. And I happened to say that I am so rock solid right now, or rock hard. I don't remember what I said. Rock solid, yeah. And it just came out wrong, and we're not going to talk about it because I didn't mean it that way.
From on behalf of the judicial branch, I believe, for some behavior that happened from a colleague. That's all I know.
You know who it was by?
Oh,
I think I wrote it down. It was something Solaris, Lex, or something like that.
Lux?
Yeah.
Lux? What
I
about
think
Lux?
it's Lux, right? Lux apologized.
Oh, you pinged me for it. I'm so rock solid. Sigh.
For it.
Lux apologized on behalf of a colleague that had done something. In the letter, it said something about if you'd please send us a letter about your religious beliefs and your cultural customs so that we can be, I guess, more appropriate or something, then let me know. And it didn't look like there was a response.
Okul has been, I guess, missing. They've been hiding after
The
execution.
incident. Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's a rough way to put it, but yeah.
Seems like this Okul person just can't keep away from trouble.
Yeah.
No. No, she can't. Apparently.
But this Okana person, they were looking for Okul, and I had actually seen Okul around the hospital. We both did.
Oh
Me,
my
Valence,
god, yes.
Heather, and
Dude,
Mira. We all saw Okul, and
talk about
I
a
guess...
jump scare.
Yeah.
Around the
Talk about a jump scare. Oh my gosh.
she wasn't talking to someone, was she? Did something happen?
She was
Um,
targeting
I was
Mira.
rushing back to the hospital because I had a shift.
she targeted Mira
She what?
after the fashion show. She ended up trying to assassinate Mira.
Mira's okay. Just her arm got messed up, but it's her
It was her prosthetic. It was her
yeah,
prosthetic. It was her
new arm,
prosthetic.
yeah.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she blocked it. She blocked it. Silly
Okay, good.
Opal can't, hit someone that's, distracted, but,
Yeah. So
fine.
when you talked with Okana, did he ever like ask you anything about Okul, like where she was or anything?
Yeah. He asked me about Okul, where she was as well. I wasn't quite as civil to him because it was right after the whole tornado incident and I was really grouchy from my injuries. So I wasn't civil to him. But he also just gave me a sense of I should not trust this man.
Well, I kind of gave him some information. So,
What information?
well, I don't know exactly where Okul is, but because because I saw Okul around the hospital, I told him to go looking around here. So
Didn't
What?
he say he was a friend of Okul's?
yeah, but
He could be
Why would
lying.
you try to, like, if they're friends, wouldn't that be a bad thing to unite them?
Yeah, it would.
Like, why would you reunite them?
I don't really know. I just you're just very convincing.
So any stranger you see off like that person right there, the Odo person, that new, they're new, they've never been here, they're new to us. Would you just spill everything to them?
Probably.
Yeah.
Quite nice. You see? They've already told me a couple things.
This is why I don't tell you anything.
This could just be a mistake on her end. I mean, he does come off
Why are
as
you
someone
sitting
to
down?
be able to trust.
To be at
Even
violence is high
Alan is
level.
that.
Manipulative in a way.
Yes.
I suppose.
But like, how do we know if this is like an actual bad person though? I mean, yeah, being friends with
We
Opal is
don't.
one thing, but
Aside from just bad feelings, all I can say is that I have a bad feeling, and one of my abilities helps with that bad feeling, you could say.
If I may butt in, I would also say, from experience, the kind of people who target people like Frog, who are very easily to tell you sensitive information, they're not good people. That person knows that Frog is a bit of a spill the beans kind of person. No offense.
so do you think that they were watching Frog? Maybe?
No, it's manipulative people can find out pretty quickly if someone is.
It's just the way they act.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell that immediately the second I've never really gotten to know you very well. The second I came down the ladder, I heard you talking a little bit. I could already tell you're the kind of person who just trusts very easily, and you're very soft-hearted, which is great. But that gets taken advantage of very easily.
Yeah, you do talk, you do tell everything, and you just trust anyone.
Oh.
But it's okay. Hey, I used to struggle with this too when I was younger. Listen, when I was younger, I had the same issue. I always told people everything. I was very naive and very gullible. It gets easier when you get older, and it's okay. If anything, getting taken advantage of this is it's how I learned to stop doing that.
Oh. Okay.
Everyone has back issues.
But you do have to stop trusting everyone you meet.
Everyone's like,
I mean, look, we
what the
barely
squid
even
doing?
spoken. You just trusted me with stuff.
Will you show up to the faction meetings and like Both of you do.
Well, yeah,
You think
everyone
everyone shows
shows
up?
up.
Yeah,
Everyone
everybody was
shows
just
up to the
like,
faction meeting
Frog,
when they
stop doing
can.
this.
Well, obviously, like Okul because she's, banned. But
Yeah.
you can't trust everyone. Remember that.
Okay.
While you can't trust everyone, you can still be kind to them. You don't have to change that.
Okay.
Just don't openly trust them as easily as you usually would. Give it some time, see how they act. Well, don't act, and form your trust based on that.
Okay.
I think they got the idea. I don't want to
Yeah.
beat on Frog too much.
Frog, we should do something
Yeah.
with
I mean,
Freya.
almost
to
like
take
we're
the
holding
attention
them-
off of you.
sometime.
It feels like we're just holding them upright.
Maybe we like shouldn't be talking about this outside now that I think about it. Because anyone can hear.
That is-
Okana can hear as well. Because I'm pretty sure Okana is looking around this area. Because I told him to.
Yeah.
How about let's.
You
let's
told
go to my
him
house.
to?
No, I didn't.
Oh my
Let's
god! You
go.
get, oh my
no,
god!
No.
You know how we just came back from?
Is this the start of the funnies now? This is indented. No, wait. All of this. Wait, all of this. The 20. Oh! 23. 20. Okay, yeah, that's okay.
The hospital, right?
Yeah.
By chance, did you also hear 2
Mhm.
gunshots?
No. I don't think I did.
Because it sounded like honestly awfully close. And then there was just it just went silent and
I didn't hear any.
Nothing.
What time was this that you heard the gunshots?
this is like I'm not sure. I didn't have that necessarily like time frame because I was too focused on the whole
Oh,
Cool.
With
thing.
Mira.
Where are you going?
What
What are you
Home.
we're going?
Don't worry about it.
Is that where we're going? To your house?
Actually, I don't want to go that way. Yeah, I don't.
These are
No?
really
No,
well
no,
done.
no,
If they
no.
were just
Oh.
You think
like
it's safe to
you
go that way,
playing the
or-
game
Wait.
for like an hour or something,
I
like, that'd
I
be
think
one
it's
thing, but
fine.
this is
Yeah, I can
well
keep
put
us safe.
together.
Okay.
That's a good question, actually.
Um.
I'm
yeah,
actually
as long
I'm
as-
kind of scared now.
We'll be fine.
Oh.
We'll be fine.
I'll
We'll
keep
be
my
fine.
sword out just in case.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
I love seeing all the eye blossoms for the Eye Blossom Festival coming up.
Hello, I'm Odo. Nice to meet you.
I'm Belios.
Oh, I love that name. It's very beautiful. What are you looking at?
Thank you.
Hey,
Why do you guys look like that? Come on. They're friendly. Look at
No,
them.
no, we're sorry. We hadn't meant to look like that. We're just shocked. You look like someone.
haven't seen you in a while, man. You
We're
never
sorry.
met.
All right.
We're taking you for someone we knew.
We've never met, Clown Boy.
right,
Clown boy.
right.
We're deeply sorry. We hadn't.
Hey,
Um,
Frog. Hey,
Frog,
Frog.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, oh,
No, what's going
you
on?
guys.
This guy's
um,
just
come,
crying. I can
come here
hear
for a
it.
second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me one moment. I apologize. What's going on?
Remember earlier we were talking over there about the assassination?
Yeah.
It's okay.
That was Frog's best friend, and now he's here, somehow.
And it seems like he doesn't.
Oh,
have money.
you're just so sad. You had to
He
mute.
might be lost. Maybe for some reason he wasn't able to
No.
go to.
No, he was dead. I sensed his soul was gone. I have that ability.
No, I understand, but he seems lost in his whatever it may be, whether he's trying to get to the afterlife or whatever. He
No,
doesn't.
He's
He looks very
alive.
confused.
He's alive. Right
Um,
now, we shouldn't say that to him. It might.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. That could very upset them, and they might just try and run away from us, avoid us at all costs.
Yes.
But, like,
So at
wouldn't
the
it
current moment, we
better
should
to
do
know?
our best to act like we don't know him.
How can we pretend we don't know him? How can we do that?
It's going to be hard. I'll admit that. But people who've
Did he
been
just insult me?
before
I just realized.
him dead,
He just insult
He did, yes.
Oh.
it could be a very sensitive situation. If you want to stay back and not speak, you can do that. Just,
No, no.
I know it's hard, Bob. I do.
Like, I know he is your best friend, and I know you miss him dearly, but it seems like he doesn't know anything
Anything at all?
that's happening right now.
How about this?
You stay with her.
No.
Maybe instead of just pretending to forget them, it's just this is a different person. They just happen to look the same.
Excuse me? It's an interesting bush, isn't it?
There's
Um,
the names on
No,
the
it's
sign
hard,
is
Bob.
mine. Why does it say in memory? I'm not dead, nor have I ever been.
Maybe it's like an appreciation of friends. You know,
I've been
maybe
on
just
here for less. I've been on here for less of the week. The only friend I have is General Okul.
Frog booking it
Of
away
course.
again.
You said your only friend was Okul?
Yes.
I mean, well, maybe Okul did this for you. Maybe they wanted to always remember you forever and ever, even while you're alive. And memory doesn't always
One
have to mean
yells
that
by
the
the
person
gun.
has passed away. You can remember someone all the time.
I made that.
And I made the other sign.
Why? You don't even know
What?
me.
It's
Just use corporate tech.
It's
You can show him it was
complicated.
made like
okay.
ages ago.
Look, we apologize for disturbing you. Let's just keep walking, okay? Let's leave him to his thought.
Okay. It was a pleasure to meet you, Belios.
Belios? Do you want to take
What?
this flower?
I guess.
I guess.
Bye bye.
There was a whole funeral for him. I didn't attend because I wasn't able to. I got busy, blah blah blah. But there was a whole funeral that happened. And
How is
he's
he here
back.
then?
Let's just.
I mean, how's that even possible?
How would I know?
I don't know.
Apparently, he's back
so-
with like. He's associated with Okul.
He was gonna throw
How?
Wait.
That doesn't even make any
Do you-
sense.
Let's
Look,
leave this
okay.
time for another time, okay?
Bailey. Okay, look. This new Belios has been here for how long? Like 2 weeks,
week.
he said.
He said a
Less-
A
week.
week.
Less than a week.
He
And
did?
He apparently came back. He had
no memories.
no memory, so he had to have encountered.
He must
Wait.
have been counting Okul soon after his resurrection.
Yeah,
So
because
she got to him first.
How can Okul kill him and then say, "Oh, you're my friend now"?
I think maybe we should sleep on this. Maybe just
Should we just go back to your place or something?
Yeah, this is too heavy of a topic right now.
Yeah.
And it's really hot out.
Plus, I have a thing with the facility over there that Waters runs, and I have to be there sometime soon.
Oh.
This-
Okay, let's go. This is a cow.
Oh my god, good job.
This
You
is
have
a
first
cow.
dibs. Come on.
I'm guessing this is the funnies now. No? Okay.
Even better, the fact that you got the drops for it.
Why'd you do that?
I was hungry. I needed a
What
snack.
just happened? Oh. Oh,
Oh my
okay.
god! I touched its
It's
skin.
okay, Frank, it's
Oh my
okay.
gosh, I touched its skin.
It's
What do you
okay.
mean? The skin?
Oh no! Stop! Stop!
Ooh.
Stop!
Ooh.
This is why we don't trust. This is why we don't just trust people.
Dave is not a good bandage.
It's
This is what I injured
perfectly
myself on.
fine. Oh my, wait. But like, what are we gonna do about this Balio situation?
I don't know. Befriend him again and like try and get him away from Okol. I think that's a pretty smart idea.
No.
What if
No.
we-
Stupid.
What do you mean, no?
I
It's Bushman
mean,
you're
he
talking
needs
about.
to stay around someone that's
Bonbon.
familiar that won't risk damaging his soul further. There could still be a part of him in limbo. Leave the death thing to me. I'll figure something out.
Wouldn't it be
Bilios.
better if we just get him away from, the danger?
Yeah.
And how do you think he'll react to that? How do
Well,
you
we
think
just-
he'll
we
react
just-
to us trying to get him away from someone he sees as a friend? He'll react with violence. He'll try to hurt us. He'll see us as an enemy.
What if we pretend?
can't-
What if we befriend him as much as we can, and then slowly like break it to him, or
We
at least
can't
like try to
break it to
become
him
better
at all.
friends.
Could you fix what's wrong with my head?
Violence, move your head ever so slightly to the right.
Well,
That's the left. You really have something wrong with you. I see some.
Wait.
Who is that? Wait, no, Balios, no, Balios, Balios. No,
Balios.
okay, come on.
Balios.
Gosh, Balios. What are you?
Wait.
What are you doing out here? I thought you like
Did
went
you
the
follow
other
us
way.
here?
You.
Oh,
Boom.
Bye.
Oh, wow.
God, don't tell me he'll hurt everything.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Balios.
Velios!
Come on. I didn't know I
I'm
should
gone.
be swimming. Come on.
I can't
Come
swim.
on. I think these river tunnel things are one of the cooler parts of this season's terrain. The stacking is canon. Everyone loves giving piggyback rides.
Do we think that Balios like heard all of that?
God, I hope not.
That's up to your imagination, man. I don't want to be the one to, determine that.
Are you don't? Hey, put
Don't
that back
roll
on.
my sheep,
Put that back on.
bro!
He can't. Oh my gosh, he's
God, I don't think
I
that's
fixed
how
it.
works.
what?
I
I
don't
don't know
think
if
that's
that
Your
works.
how
big sheep never
wool
go bald.
works. He'll... Well,
He can't go back. He
he
doesn't
might
like
need to get
moss. Oh, Jeff.
What's wrong with the moss?
He's out there. He's out.
No. Hey, come back. Balios, please.
What's up, man? Boats. I
yeah.
tend to not pay
Alright,
attention.
now it's the funnies. I recommend go watch the funnies. Go give the video a like. I see 7 of you reacted this. Only 3 likes in the videos. Go like the video. Fuck you, shears your sheep. Very good as always. Zinnia awoken. Uh-oh. Or maybe good. Oh, hold on. There's something melancholic about waking up in an unfamiliar place and immediately thinking of home. The blinding white light above her, the white walls, white floor, all of it was so strikingly similar to the place Zinnia had once called home, that for just a moment she thought it had all been a dream. The thought excited her, memories of a cheerful childhood causing her heart to beat faster in her chest, as she attempted to get up, only for it to all come crashing down. Her sudden movements must have caused the heart monitors to send some sort of alert to the hospital staff, because just as she managed to get into a sitting position, Magos came rushing in. Any attempt to search for a family that no longer existed became futile after that, with the doctor administering a mild sedative to stop Zinnia's persistent attempts to leave her bed. As the medicine kicked in and her eyes grew heavier, Zinnia muttered out a single word before sleep could take her away once more. Mom. Oh man, she's messed up. Poor thing. The next time Zinnia awoke, it was with a bit more clarity. No, this wasn't home. She was, for whatever reason, in the Keepers of Solace hospital, the ICU specifically, according to Light, who had stopped by to take Zinnia's vitals shortly after she had awoken. Apparently, Zinnia had been rushed into the hospital by Okana, of all people, with a severe head injury. Her skull had been cracked open. She had been in a coma and lost days of her life. She nearly died. She didn't remember any of it. And she tried. Lord, did she try to scavenge her brain for something, even a glimpse of what had caused her to become so injured. Alas, nothing. Nothing was terrifying. Had it been Eclipse again? Okul? Did either of them even have any incentive to go after Zinnia? Then there was Okana. Zinnia would have suspected him too, had he not technically saved her life. She felt so tired, sickening fear slowly morphing into numbness. She had survived the disposal, losing everything, and naively hoped that maybe one day she could recreate just a semblance of what life was like on once was on Solace. Yet her clone project was a failure. She'd been shot, witnessed an execution, and now this. Not to mention the growing political issues on the planet and constant threats. Yeah, Zinnia was tired. So much so that she stopped caring to pick the petals from her hair. Poor thing. Also, can you share some talent with the rest of us? Writing is fire. Art is fire. 10 out of 10. From Lucky. Damn, my head is pounding. What happened? Lucky went missing. Where is this? This looks kind of like the community center, but not quite. Because there aren't any windows near the community center. Where is this? Have fun. I gave you guys 2 little poems. One of is Azrael/Angel and the other is of Onyx. Everlasting Pain. Ah, classic. Content warnings: character death, suicidal thoughts. Has this one been reviewed? Azrael had never really understood the concept of death. Even with the amount of times he died, he still didn't really understand it. Zinnia, we gotta bake you some cookies. Weighted blanket, glass of milk, and plate of cookies. So true. Hey, can't you? You're a nurse! Truffle, aren't you? Or you work at the hospital? Gets any of that. It wasn't until his son Onyx died that he did. It's stupid, annoying, frustrating, and hard to deal with, especially if it's someone as special as your child. It's a difficult concept to grasp, especially if no one ever taught you much about it. Onyx died a slow, painful death. Azrael tried to save him, to find a cure for it, but failed. Azrael wanted Croy to meet Onyx, but that never got to happen. Seeing Onyx die like that, it reminded him too much of Susu when she was dying the last time. It seriously got to him. He held Onyx as his body went cold, his eyes losing the light in them. He looked lugubrious? Is that a word?
Lugubrious.
Looking or sounding sad and dismal. Lugubrious. I've never heard of that word before. Wow. Truffle quit working in the hospital, I see. The days after Onyx's death. Almost dreadful. He didn't have the heart to tell Onyx's mother, not yet. Azrael's son just died. He didn't know how to react. He was overcome by grief. All he did was lay in the field. He didn't move, didn't leave. Onyx was buried at Azrael's house. Azrael didn't have energy to get up and go visit the grave. He was angry at the world, at his life, how everyone he loved died. Some part of him, deep in his heart, wanted Croy to come for him, to hold him, to be there for him, like he did when Susu died back then. Actually, that's all he wants. He wants his brother more than anything. Croy used to be his everything, the one he lived for every day. Azrael doesn't really feel there's a reason to live anymore. He's lost his son, his brother, and pretty much his sister too, as she believed Loomis was never to blame and her death was wrong. Azrael hated it. He wished so deeply that he could just slap her, slap some sense into her, make her realize that Loomis was just a cruel woman who never deserved a life, even if that meant the two didn't exist. Some days he even prayed to erase the past, even if he never really believed that stuff. Azrael also kind of missed Eurillo, which was weird, as he didn't want Eurillo to know he's alive just yet. He had stuff to take care of first. He often pondered if it was even worth it to try and survive this hell everyone called life. However, he was afraid of death now. It never really crossed his mind until now. He never really realized how much he hated being brought back to life every time. Deep down, he hoped Onyx wouldn't have to go through being brought back as a ghost. He didn't want Onyx to go through that too. Poems. Onyx of the Broken Eye. At 11 years, too young for pain, yet thrown to fire, ash, and rain, a boy with hands that shook with fear still carries blades when war drew near. The sky was torn, the soil was red, he marched with ghosts, with countless dead. His laughter gone, his childhood burned, a soldier's path was all he learned. One strike, one flash, one piercing flame, it carved his face, it marked his name. His left eye lost, but not his fight, he bore the wound, he bore the night. Now 16 years, though scarred, he stands, with solace's soil beneath his hands. A broken boy, a soldier grown, still searching for a place called home. He dreams of peace, but dreams feel far, when every night recalls the scar. Yet Onyx walks, unbowed, alive, a single eye to watch, survive. For though the war had claimed its due, it could not steal his spirit too, and on solace he makes his vow, I lost my past, but I'll heal now. Before the ash. Before the stars collapsed in flame, before the skies forgot their name, Angel dreamed with pen in hand to paint the soul to shape the land. He whispered rhymes to moons above, of fragile hope and fragile love, a poet's heart, a steady stream. He built his world with hopes and words and dreams. While others strained for war and steel, he sought the truth of what we feel. Let me write, he used to say, before the dark can take away. But then the anomaly tore the skies, it drowned his ink, it burned his eyes. The pages scattered ash and flame, and poetry became just pain. Yet still inside, though worlds decay, a poet's soul won't fade away. For even lost through dust and scar, his words still reach the furthest star. Always love your poetry. An unofficial meeting from Mars. I don't think I've ever seen Mars write anything in Lore Tuesday yet. Read an unlikely ally first. We already did. This is Mars' perspective. Very dialogue heavy, but enjoy. All right. I never met Okul, only rumors and stories of things that I hope and pray to Eurillo are exaggerations or misunderstandings. I'd also not planned on the first time meeting with the notorious warden would be her bleeding out in frostfire snow. The moment I saw Rhyme enter Cass's lab, I knew something was wrong. Crew hadn't let that thing leave her side since she was released from the hospital, mostly since she was scared of Cass testing on it, but that's besides the point. When the little fawn scurried into the lab, I took one look at the deer and sprinted after it, hoping Cass would follow. It should be said he wanted to be a poet before the great anomaly happened. Yeah, I figured that. The first thing I noticed was the blue, the steadily growing puddle of something. The second thing I noticed was the back of Krufix's head. The third thing I noticed was that she was bent over what looked like a body. It took a couple seconds for it to click. Is that? Krufix cut me off before I could finish. Okul, yes, now help me. I stayed where I was, assessing the damage from above as Crew continued in an almost dazed manner. It might be selfish, but at that moment I was more worried about Krufix. This was Eclipse's camp from when. We need to stabilize her before we can take her to the hospital. Cass, help me keep her up and figure out a way to get this sword out of the ground. Mars, can your powers do anything here? I hesitated for a moment. I was barely getting the hang of healing humans and small animals. A warden would be a whole other story. I dropped to my knees beside her. I don't know, she's not a person like us. Cass then scoffed and made a comment about pointing out the obvious. I glared at her before Crew redirected our attention. Enough, just do something. Wait, not yet. I paused and waited for her to continue. We could do that before we head to the hospital. This sword is the bigger issue. I nodded, sending a small prayer to Eurillo before deciding to concentrate on the smaller wounds covering the warden's body, trusting that Crew would deal with the sword and Cass would hold up the unconscious Okul. I heard Crew mutter something before breaking the sword. Smart cookie. There was a conversation between the Obake and the Empress that I didn't really pay attention to until I heard Crew tell me to do my thing. That was my sign to focus all my energy on healing the sword wound, at least to a point where Okul could be transported. I held out for as long as possible, even as I felt the energy leaving my body and my vision wavering. Come on, just a little longer. I eventually had to force myself to stop, knowing that passing out would be more of a burden than a help to the current situation. I can't do it anymore, I panted, trying desperately to catch my breath, barely registering as Rhyme climbed into my lap. Okay, that's okay. Get Eurillo, Crew replied. I gave a slight nod and began a prayer to the god of life himself, and luckily he answered, showing up in a surprisingly timely fashion. He put his hand on Crew and Okul's shoulders, teleporting them away to the hospital. Or at least I hope that's where they went. Cass stayed quiet as I caught my breath and tried to gather enough energy for the walk home. I closed my eyes and laid back in the snow for a moment until I felt a nudging to my side. I cracked an eye open. What? Get up. Cassim stood over me with an impatient look. Just give me a sec, I muttered, inhaling another couple lung fills of air. He paused. Guess I'll leave you to freeze then. Cass hates me, I guess. Fine, one sec. I pushed myself up on legs made of jello, eventually finding some semblance of balance. So, Cass, do you know the way back? Yeah? He gave me an odd look, like I was a bug he was examining under a microscope, then sighed. Follow me. I didn't notice the smirk on his face. I nodded, following mindlessly after Cass, thinking of nothing except the bed that would await me at home, and the exhaustion that had settled in my bones. But after a while, my surroundings didn't look any more familiar than they had before, but I brushed it off, continuing to follow. The walk continued for a suspiciously long time before I spoke up. Cass, where are we? You tell me, he responded instantly, as if he had been waiting for me to ask. I'm serious, Cassim Grims. As am I. We've been walking in circles for what feels like forever. I hadn't noticed. I swear to Eurillo, you're doing this on purpose, aren't you? I don't know, am I? I groaned in frustration. Please, Cass, I'm exhausted. I just want to go home. He remained quiet and gave me that odd look again, as if I was some creature he needed to put in a jar and study. It then shifted to pity? What? Why are you looking at me like that? Did I do something wrong? He turned and walked off once more. Eurillo damn him. Where are we going now? Home. Really? Why the sudden change of heart? I asked sarcastically. I waited to see if he'd respond. He didn't. Or I'm talking to a brick wall, I muttered bitterly, having no choice but to follow Cass, hoping he would actually lead us home. I was feeling worse and weaker by the second. We eventually did make it back to our houses, just in time to see Crew being teleported back by Eurillo. Cass didn't spare them a glance before going into his house. Eurillo then teleported away. He always has better things to do anyways. Relief flooded me, my exhaustion temporarily forgotten. Cookie, you're back. How did it go? As I took a couple steps closer when she didn't respond. Being closer, I noticed the dazed, almost distant look in her eyes. Crew, you alright? She finally met my gaze with a hardened look I've never seen before. Okul should be fine. They took her into surgery, even managed to salvage part of the sword. That's good, but again, how are you? I asked more insistently. I'm fine. I gave her a look, knowing fine was far from the truth, but I let it lie. For now, at least. Anything I can help with? No, you should rest. I saw how much healing Okul took out of you. But rest, Mars, she snapped. When I tell you to do something, do it. I don't need your help with anything right now. I sighed. What'll you be doing then? I glanced down at the remnants of the sword that had previously impaled the warden. Don't worry about it. Another fake smile. Just go rest. I'll tell you later. All right, Cookie, just don't do anything dangerous, please. All I got from her was a distracted nod before she turned and headed back towards her house, leaving me alone in the snow. I knew there would certainly be more news and drama in the morning, but there was nothing for me to do, except collapse into my warm bed and finally rid myself of the weariness that had been clinging to me like a second skin. I ignored the blue blood staining my hands and parts of my red jacket. I'd deal with that later. Maybe. I then collapsed on my downstairs couch. Sleep had never felt so good. Oh, we have a video. Open up YouTube again. Oh? Ooh? trying to figure out what that binary is?
Oh.
Fuck. Huh?
Oh. Hi.
Hey. What are you doing here?
Oh,
thought-
It's in the
came
description. Oh, October 6th, 10:30, audio detected in the lab unit. Has it detected transmitting? Okay.
collect some footage from the cameras.
Footage from cameras? For what footage are you trying to... Footage?
It's just some footage from around the
You
Keeper
mean
Falls
you mean
area.
this footage right here?
Oh. Yeah, I didn't expect you to see it first.
Well, yeah, I kind of had an appointment, to be here with Waters. I had a whole thing planned, and just to come find out that he went to a different place unexpectedly.
It wasn't exactly willing. I can explain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because wasn't he like unconscious and hurt and potentially
Well-
dying?
That's correct.
So what happened?
He didn't
I feel
exactly
like I'm
tell
playing
me
FNAF.
all the details, only that he was attacked by someone and it was bad enough to that he nearly lost an arm. And
Oh, so this is
he
the
was
hazard
poisoned.
detected transmitting.
He's healing very well so far. And he's safe
Safe where?
at my home at the Moontooth Kingdom.
Right. And
Oh, the glitch text is a question
seems
mark.
to me that you weren't planning on telling me.
I did plan on telling you. I planned on telling everyone. He was attacked, and his attacker is still out there. I did plan on informing everyone.
Do we know
I don't,
who exactly attacked him?
he didn't. He knows, but he hasn't told me.
Of course, Waters wouldn't tell anyone, right? Because he just
This
has
is the
to be
hazard
so
detected.
secretive about everything.
Violence. Maybe he has his reasons for being secretive. It's not our place to push it. He'll tell us in time.
Will he?
We shouldn't cross up his trust or his boundaries like that. Especially when it comes to situations like this. He'll
See, but
Don't you hope
that's what I do. I mean, how else do you think I got this job, man? I literally broke in. I don't I don't know what. Oh, you don't know that? Oh.
No. You
Yeah.
broke in?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you question why he doesn't tell you stuff?
But like, I don't know.
Balance. If you'd like to visit him, you're more than welcome to come visit him. Maybe he'll talk to the both of us there.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. I guess so. I just don't understand exactly what's going on.
Neither do I. But the
And
best
I
we
would
can
like to
do
know what's
is,
going on.
I do too. But the best we can do right now is support him.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, you said you needed the footage, right?
Yes.
I mean, I could just go ahead and just send it your way, and then you can grab
That'd
it
be
from
great.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Silence.
All right. Um. So Waters.
And that last one was transmitting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know what this one
He
was.
nearly lost.
All right, someone type it out. You had to manually type out the transcript in the sucky YouTube caption system. Oh no. Okay, someone type this out. Open up a thing here. I'll give you 5 seconds. Open up some notepad or something. I'll read it out. You can type it. Ready? 011 011 00. It's the first one. 011 010 01. Second one. 011 00001. 001 00000. 0101 0000. 0111 0010. 011 00101. 001 00000. 01 000 100. 011 00101. 011 011 01. 011 01111. 011 0111 0. 0111 0100. 011 00101. 001 01110. No context joining stream. You sound like you're very deeply debating for presidency. Waters is dying. 011 01 00100 01010. Sorry, what do you want me to do? I can type it in myself, I guess. Wrap it? 01101100001101001. There you go. All right, did anyone actually type it in, or am I gonna have to do it myself? Hold on, I am bringing it up. Morse, not Morse code. What is this? Binary. All right, hold on. 011011000. 011010001. Oh, you're useless. Okay, wait. Maybe I can get it with my... Because sometimes camera... Yeah. Oh, good. It's gonna let me... Come on. Let me get the text from it. Yes. Copy. Sometimes I love Apple. Paste. It says LK something Predemont. Isn't that it's Elia? It's Elia Predemont. Or Demonte or whatever. That yeah, okay. Why would it say that? Is it transmitting to her? That's scary. Or is it saying light is Elia? Or Elia is there? Or I don't know. 2 wardens down. No look at captions. What do you mean? Captions coming soon. Security camera. Oh, okay, wait, that thing, yeah. Oh, Ciros is saying who did it. Oh! I'm a little slow. Alright, Warden's Emergency. Here we go. Let's look at the timestamps for this. Like as always. Alright, basically everything up until then is watch. I am probably gonna put a limit on the amount of video length that people can make. Nothing against Frog. Other people have made like, you know, 30, 40-minute long videos before that I just cannot watch on stream, realistically. Oh, I can watch the sillies if you want me to watch, if it's not too long. But having like 30 to 45-minute long videos, it's just like, I'm trying to cut down everyone's individual lore to like 30 minutes a person. That includes like reading time or watching time or listening time or whatever it is. Just because, okay, even 30 minutes is too long. Maybe, cause like reading stuff usually takes like 10 minutes. But there's like probably like 50 different people who post lore consistently, and there's like a fewer, like 15 that post lore like their full 3 entries every single week. And if I spend like 30 minutes per person on that, you can imagine why I have, you know, I had that 10-hour stream, which that was 4 hours of that was the Cath thing, but still 6 hours should not happen. So anyway. Okay. I just need to find a way to balance it. It'll happen. Thank you all for meeting. This meeting was so boring. I think maybe some of you already know what happened. At least those in the Keepers of Solace, Crossfire, the Librarians. Crossfire being changed to Crossfire is actually
last night,
insane.
Eclipse attacked another person on her list. Comet was
not prepared
in front
for
of
this
the
meeting.
library, locking up at the end of the night when Eclipse came up behind them and attacked them. Thankfully, Comet was able to fend her off, being, you know, tall and very capable of fighting. So they're currently in the
Not
hospital.
the Discord join noise.
And
you can turn it
recovering.
on to streamer mode, by the way, and it removes that sound.
Eclipse
'cause violence
managed to
wasn't there.
escape, but only because she had a knife, and used that to stab Comet in the abdomen, which allowed her to.
What should I order from
get
Taco
away.
Bell?
From what I know, and have heard from talking to Comet, Eclipse
How do you do
is
that? It's
fairly
not in
injured.
OBS settings. It's in Discord settings. You go to, hold on. Hold on. Go to settings. Scroll down here to streamer mode. You just turn that shit on. Under Windows settings or advanced, or above advanced, whatever. Just do that. You're good to go. You have to turn it on, like, I would recommend not having it on all the time because it gets rid of, like, people's usernames and all sounds and notifications, everything. But have it on when you're recording it. When you're recording. Super
Sure.
helpful. Crunchwrap is a
So
good
if
idea.
you see her,
I can't. I'm
and
not
are
gonna
in a
order
large
with extra meat because I'm vegetarian. Give me vegetarian ideas. Crunchwrap's good.
it may not be the worst idea to try and capture her, but also, please, please stay in groups. Comet was alone when this happened, and I think.
I mean, why do they have drops? Like, check out our Tuesday drops. Unlock the Taco Bell Battle Pass. What is going on?
This.
Why
group-
Taco Bell? Substitute beans, like meat for beans. Easy. Nobody knows I'm vegetarian. I have been vegetarian my entire life. The only time that I was not vegetarian was when I went to Japan, where I tried a whole bunch of fish and things, and I have a tier list of the different meats. Actually, not just fish. I tried like every meat that I could get my hands on. I could give you a tier list sometime. Not lettuce wrapped. Vegetarian does not mean no tortillas. I eat cheese and eggs and, you know, whatever. I just don't eat meat.
Vic was alone when Eclipse attacked her. So
If you make me a burger, I will eat it. If someone is offering me like food, like I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm better than that. How do I get my protein? Tofu? And like a lot of other things? Veggie meat? Like there's so many other like protein sources. Well, okay, don't trust the AI thingy. Protein content of common foods. Yeah, soy. Lentils, dude. Chili, peanut butter, nuts. All sorts of beans. Milk and dairy, grains, vegetables. Like, it's everywhere, dude. Yeah. Eggs. I love eggs. Anyway, sorry.
So, please take this as another
Vegetarians,
warning
I am not malnourished. Trust me, I am not malnourished.
To stay in groups because you know.
Egg
No, I think
I'm not
those who are
eating
left on the
eggs
list
for you all. Don't ask.
might want to take extra precautions. But again,
Egg Tuesday.
Eclipse has been known to also attack if she encounters people who aren't on her whole list. So just be careful. Anyone who has comments or questions, though, please feel free to come up.
How is Comet right now?
Comet is currently recovering in the hospital. If you'd like to visit them, that's you know, they're not too worse for wear. They obviously being stabbed isn't good, but you know, they're up and talking, and Cam was the one who brought them to the hospital. So if you see him, wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to be in the hospital right now?
Can't. They left me alone.
And you just
Um,
left.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
miss a
explaining
meeting where
Birth
everyone's
Tuesday.
talking about me. Yeah.
Fair
it's not
enough.
that far. Not
Would you like to
gonna-
say anything? Are you okay?
Should there be a nurse on
I'll
standby?
give my account. I mean, yeah, I'm.
Yeah, please.
I can take care of myself.
Dedication, indeed.
Dedication. Indeed.
So as I was locking up the library for a night, I was planning on going to visit Lilac Archives, as I usually do, or Lilac Expeditions, specifically their archives, to collect some new books that they found. When Eclipse came up to me and put a knife to my neck. The only thing I heard her say
Dude,
was,
why is a black bean chalupa $6? It's almost as expensive as a Crunchwrap. That's insane, dude. And they have this whole like, oh, you know, we're going back to the Y2K menu thing. Bring back the Y2K prices then. What happened to the dollar menu, huh? Why are cheesy roll-ups $1.29? It's just a tiny tortilla with cheese on it. Why are chips and guacamole $3.69? Why is a tiny bowl of black beans $2? Sorry.
This is for my brother. And then I was able to wrestle away the knife for a brief period of time. I landed several blows. She was not doing so well. She panicked and she went after the knife and stabbed me. Obviously, there are a lot of factors that we don't know about and that are still being investigated. For example, how she got my schedule and how she in fact found where the library was, because the library is a very secluded, and I've only told a very few amount of people where the location is, and that is by design. It was for safety, so it would prevent stuff like this, or for other bad actors to destroy what is inside. She wasn't after that, she was after me. I don't know who found the location of the library. Only a few people know. And obviously, the schedule. I thought I heard noises a while back, but like in the bushes, but I only attributed it to the wildlife because we get a lot of wildlife because there's not a lot of people on that island. So, and the handwriting on the schedule, it wasn't Eclipse's. It did not match Eclipse's handwriting from what we have. So I don't know who. It was presumably someone else stalked me and gave my schedule to Eclipse because it was not Eclipse's handwriting. So presumably the Keepers of Solace and the judicial branch will be investigating this, and I obviously will comply with investigation. As for going after Eclipse, please only do it if you stay, like Freya said, stay in groups. I have not been staying in a group, and it was a calculated risk that I decided to take.
Calculated
Obviously,
risk.
It led to me getting stabbed. I can survive what many of you cannot. If any of you were to take the stabbing, obviously, you guys would be much worse for wear. However, I have the experience. I don't want people to think this is an okay. This is a sign that now that she's weakened, you can go off and hunt her down. No, please do not. We cannot deal with any more deaths on Solace. What we need to do is we need to act defensively, so things like this won't happen again. If any of you guys have any questions, you can ask me directly, and I will try my best to answer them.
Hi. It was said that there was the Anafi dropped a schedule paper. Do you have idea of who did that? Who gave that to her?
Not at the moment. Since the stabbing has only happened, and the event has only happened yesterday, I have only had a chance to read it over a few times, and obviously I've been in the hospital getting treated for my injuries. So I haven't had much time to do my own investigation, but I promise I will, and I will keep the community updated with anything that I find. I will do my best. Because I don't want to cause panic. I want answers, and I want
Aw.
justice. So I will do my best. I'll pass it on back to Freya.
You should probably get back to the hospital. Maybe?
I can wait a little longer.
I will say, I mean, obviously this was a terrible event, but you beat up Eclipse.
I have not participated in combat in a long time. I tried to swear off of it when I came to Solace, but I will fight to protect. So I did, and I won. She got scared.
I'd win. The
She
prophecy
realized
has
the
been
only
fulfilled.
way that she was getting out of this alive was
I know you're injured, but let's
Is
flex
if
real quick.
she
Exactly. That's
fought
exactly
dirty
like.
with a knife.
Come on.
Like I said, stay
Thank you.
in groups, please. In combat, I hope that you do as well. I don't know if, you may still be on Eclipse's list. Maybe this is all,
That no combat rule.
she wanted.
So
Maybe
what are
this
you
is all she could
planning?
have done, and maybe she's gonna go back now. I hope that she's learned that, we're capable of fighting her off, and we're not gonna be an easy win for her.
If we're gonna go down, we're gonna have to go down fighting.
Thank you all for coming to this meeting. If there's anything else unrelated, I suppose we could talk about it, but we're also going to meet on Sunday, as usual.
It's more of just for whoever made
there
the
goes my
mail
lights. Hold on.
system. How secure is it? Because
Oh, the
I've
Keepers of
noticed-
Solace mailboxes?
yeah,
I mean, they don't have locks or anything. It's just kind of
Yeah.
letters for the people who work here, and
yet
important
information is still going through it.
I mean, that's on whoever puts information in there. I just made it because there's a lot of letters being handed to
Oh,
me
no.
directly.
Dante,
I like to just
Yeah,
have things
like
there.
a comment not to put important information in open areas. Unlocked
Yeah.
mailboxes.
Yeah, don't if there's like very important confidential information, please just hand it to me directly or whoever you're trying to give it to.
Yeah, I was gonna say also it would be fairly easy to make a system where you put it in a chest and the chest has, a hopper and stuff like that, and it goes to a room that only you have access to.
I wanted to announce to the people, with express permission from Waters, that around 10 or so, he was attacked by an unknown assailant. He, at this time, did not tell me who attacked him, but he was attacked and I found him. He had requested not to go to the hospital, so I took him to the Moonchest Kingdom to be healed and to rest. He is making a full recovery at this time, but he does still have some lingering effects from a poison in his system.
Do you think this could have been Eclipse?
No. From what I can tell, he's somewhat familiar with who attacked him, but he wouldn't tell me exactly who it was. And I didn't want to push it since he was also suffering from the lack of sleep at the same time as the poisoning and nearly losing his arm. I did go back to the area. I couldn't find any evidence, and I'm sure something was picked up on the cameras, but I haven't seen it just yet.
Well, hello everybody. It's been a while since you guys have seen me. There was incidents with the comms mission, and
Why are we duct taping
I
people?
decided not to hide what happened. During the mission, I did lose my arm.
Yeah, that tape it.
As you guys can see, I have healed and stuff like that. I was attacked by
Clown boy.
Vocal after the fashion show.
I feel I should, as a medical staff at the hospital, inform you that
With a
Oko
HIPAA
is
violation.
currently in the hospital.
Like that's an invasion
That's
of privacy.
confidential. You shouldn't have said that.
That's a HIPAA violation.
As a non-medical staff, Okal's in the hospital. There.
Guess who's getting their license revoked?
Oh.
We will handle Oko as
Yeah,
we would
HIPAA
do any
violation.
other criminal. Because
As
at the end
medical
of the day,
staff,
that's what
I'm
she
gonna
is.
just break everything
She
that
caused a lot of damage here in Solus. Lucky has gone missing. Lucky went missing on October 6th around 4
That's
p.m.
fair. There is
She
no
was
Gonzalez.
right outside the community center. If you guys still have any information about them or where their whereabouts, please do reach out to me through letters. Go to the courthouse.
Dear Rush, hello. There was a book that was left here a while ago in another meeting about my friend, Croy, a ghost. I am still looking for him, and the only person so far
He's
that
getting
has
sued.
been somewhat helping me is Akiana, I think, and I would just like to say that if you see my friend, just tell me somehow. I'm wandering around a lot more, so I should not be hard to find. You will most likely see a multicolored shield. If you were to, if you see that shield, please tell me. Thank you.
Hearing Okena mentioned, I actually did have a meeting with him recently, and well, I was
Aw.
going to say if anyone has knowledge of the whereabouts of Okal, to let me know, but we do now. Everyone knows where she is. Well, if that wraps that up, then we can end it here. Any final thoughts or comments?
I'm going back to the hospital. May have.
That's a good idea.
You
Busted a
shouldn't
few
walk
stitches.
alone to the hospital.
Not the
I'm coming
stitches.
with you. Sinithra, come on.
I
I'm
would
very
say,
much capable of walking myself to the hospital.
I know, but you.
A lot of clips.
As I said before, thank you all for being here. If there are no more questions or comments, then this meeting is dismissed. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.
I'm gonna do what I was planning on doing in the first place. Am I gonna hear a Glock?
They're waking up. She's waking up.
Gotta sleep. Gotta sleep.
This is your baby.
That's gotta be like against some law. It's too loud. That's funny. All right. All right, I'm still here. I gotta go back to this. I would rather have heard a shotgun rack. That's funny. Is your baby crying? Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, little baby. Up. Oh my god, it's been so long. It's been many years. How's it going? This is why visitors are not welcome. Well, it's good to see you. We're just going through Lore Tuesday stuff. Were you here when we started Lore Tuesday? I think that was last year. You never see me stream. I stream every Tuesday now, and sometimes Fridays. Although I'm hoping to make that more official. Who gave Mika moderation powers? Oh, Kath, you want mod? I'll mod you. Mod. There we go. You are a mod now. You get to mute each other. Or you can't mute each other. I don't know. Oh no. Alright. Perspective. Okul was attacked by Eclipse. She was too prideful to even bring along someone else. Oh, Spawn pinned that. Oh, it's over. Everyone still hates her, and her hospital room had to be guarded. I'm terrified about what's going to happen to them after she recovers. If she recovers. Judge Mira gave a speech about Okul and how she throws away people who aren't useful to her. The oh-so-high and mighty judge said that anyone aiding Okul is in danger, along with their loved ones. But the ruthless and uncaring Okul that the public seems to imagine isn't the Okul I know. Ruthless? Yes. Uncaring? If she didn't care, she wouldn't have done all of this. That's true, a little bit. I couldn't help that my mind slipped away just a few days earlier. A conversation I had with Okul. I guess the different sides of a person you see can really change your perspective. General Okul, may I speak to you about some matters that have been troubling me lately? Mm-hmm. Is it okay for me to still believe in divinities if I occasionally question them? Questioning is part of the journey. As long as you come out more devout in your temper, then the questioning is worthwhile. Is it okay for me to publicly deny association with the house? While I am still loyal, anyone associated with the house is considered an enemy. Considering my current job and future plans, I just can't risk it. The house is going through hard times. All may not want you to associate with us. As long as your allegiances align with us and only us, Divinitas may yet smile on you. This one is specific, but can I be in the house even if I've been blessed by another god? As long as this god does not have your your heart for itself, as that is for Divinitas to have. Praise the Divine One. That god has long since abandoned me. I could only do my best to ensure that no harm comes to Okul. They've done too much for me. She's one of the few people who I believe to be fit to help Solace despite all its flaws. Kath, after this stream, I'm gonna go get Taco Bell and then let's hang out. Can write. Well, I don't know if I'll write. I tried writing earlier and I can't. I'm too stressed. A fair concern. What's wrong with Lucky? I didn't expect to ever be concerned about someone, let alone Lucky, but I've heard of her recent disappearance at the faction meeting as well as some other terrible incidents at play, so I decided to take a small camping trip, just me and Buckley. It was pretty nice at first. Me and Buckley even found a great spot to set camp for the night, somewhere in a heavily wooded forest. That's when I found a cabin. Not exactly an abandoned one. It was well kept, trimmed bushes and everything, the whole 9 yards. I was almost tempted to check it out, and that's when I saw her, Lucky, who was tending to her garden at the time. I thought that she was gone, but it appears that I was proven to be incorrect. Better yet, maybe the higher-ups were incorrect. Higher-ups were incorrect. I tried to sneak away, but a pair of boots that crunch on leaf litter like shattered glass isn't exactly the quietest. Lucky stopped me, not with any form of aggression or curiosity. She just seemed happy. Awfully happy. I don't understand how she could act so carefree all of a sudden, especially to me of all people. It was unsettling to say the least. To test to see if it was some sort of trick, I insulted her, called her a lunatic. She had no negative reaction. In fact, she even laughed at it like it was amusing to her. Lucky even said hello to me, which isn't all too bad until I remind myself that she despises me. This is all really giving monastery stuff. I'm sorry. Buckley could sense that something was off too, and he trotted over to Lucky and I, abruptly cutting her off from my path and allowing me to jump onto his saddle. I left a comment that may not have been all too necessary, but it felt right to say at the time. "The hell is wrong with you?" is what I recall saying before booking it with Buckley. Buckley kicked dust into the air to momentarily disorient her, giving us a windowed chance to get out of there, and so we did. I'm starting to feel worried about that animal thing, who just shows up out of the blue after a missing report, let alone with a carefree mood like that. What's going on? You need someone to hold you accountable? Yeah! Me too, honestly. Today I saw a little one walking around MTK. They checked out Balios's grave and sat down reading the journal. I don't know much about them, but they seemed friendly. I wanted to go up and talk to them, but I had to check on Waters. I made food of all sorts and some other goodies, as you don't know what he eats, but I still want to be a good host. I still need to figure out who dug up the grave, because I know the gods wouldn't do that, even if they had revived him. I'm going to have to contact some old friends to see if they can track the person. Kathy. All insults were allowed or they aren't hurtful. Oh, this is going to be good. Balios's log 1. Why do people constantly say I died? I never died. And why the hell is there a stupid hole with "Rest in Peace Balios" said in a very annoying and sarcastic voice? And when I found it, 4 random people started talking to me like I knew them. A clown boy, Otter, Frog Legs, and a winged woman. The frog was panicking for no reason. The clown was just irritating. The winged woman was talking to me as if I were a child who couldn't understand. And the otter just kept talking. I swear, I wanted to do things very violently, but there could have been too many witnesses. So instead, I walked away. But the frog interrupted me and handed me a flower. I took it just because it looked nice. But then I finally walked off, and I wanted to know what more was going to be said, so I followed and hid in a tree and listened. They had a funeral for a man who never even died. Pathetic, really, making up delusions just to make yourself sad. Cry about an animal dying. Not my fake death. Balios. Missing person. Frog! No! I just realized the music has been off, sorry. Frog was last seen Saturday, October 11th around 9 a.m. near the Lilac Expeditions LLC headquarters. They were in humanoid form, wearing a pink striped shirt, denim shorts, and their olive green frog skin. Other defining features include a small sprout on top of their head. No! That's so sad. Breaking the news. Breaking news! Timeline placement. After the incident with Okul and Mira, as well as the attack on Waters and right after Frog's video. Light returned home quiet. She walked downstairs and blinked when she caught Waters looking through her shulker boxes in search for his tanks. Waters, Light said, sounding calm despite the glare she gave the seemingly older man. Get back into the water. You're in there for a reason. He looked up at her. She could sense his reluctance and defiance. Before he could protest, whatever. Light spoke again. I mean it, Waters. Go, she ordered, pointing to the pool she had made for him. Waters sighed and did as he was told. The water was warm and smelled like flowers, nice and relaxing. Waters sat on a stair leading deeper into the pool. Light sat at the edge, letting her legs dangle into the water. Where did you go while I was still asleep? Waters asked as he watched the axolotl as it swam about in the pool. Back to the area where you were shot, Light answered calmly, pointedly ignoring how Waters had tensed up. I was looking for clues, anything to help me find whoever had attacked you. She paused, her mind wandering back to the events that had happened. She didn't realize that she was crying, not until Waters' gloved hand gently brushed over her cheeks to wipe them away. She blinked and quickly wiped the rest away. Sorry, she said as her ears lowered slightly. I hadn't meant to start crying like that. Waters watched the dragon girl for a long time. Something happened? He asked, seemingly worried that she might have ran into his attacker. Light hesitated, then nodded. I suppose you can say that, Light said softly. She sighed and curled her tail into her lap. I had a meeting with Frog Violence and a new resident named Odo, she said softly. When I was with them, we talked about Okana. Frog and Violence had heard your gun. Apparently, Okul had tried to attack Miss Mira after the fashion show. Light watched Waters jolt. She guessed that he was shocked by the news since Okul had been laying low for a while now. She sighed softly. She despised Okul. She was glad that she wasn't openly a part of the House of Ocular Enlightenment, so she was able to leave quietly without notice. Light took a deep breath. Well, she said, continuing on from the topic of Okul, we were all making our way towards Frog's home when... She trailed off, her ears lowering slightly and her wings sagged just a bit. Waters watched her carefully. He could see that she had a sadness about her. It was as if she saw something that pained her. Light? He asked. Light took a sharp breath and looked at Waters. Her eyes gleamed with unshed tears. Balios. We saw Balios. He's alive, she said, emotion making her voice crack. Waters jolted, standing up. Impossible, he said. He died. We saw him die. I know, Light replied. Light, this isn't funny. I'm not trying to be funny, Waters. Light looked at Waters with a serious expression. Waters took a sharp breath and looked away. Waters, I wouldn't lie about this, especially when it comes to death and resurrection. The older man sighed softly. No, I doubt you would. He looked at the girl. She offered him a small, wary smile, then she looked away. Did something happen? Waters asked in concern. Light hesitated for a while before she sighed softly. He doesn't remember us. At all. He didn't recognize Frog or Violence or me. Her ears lowered. She remembered what she had sensed from Belios. The anger, the hate. It didn't feel like Belios at all. At least, not all of him. Light sighed softly. From what I could tell, he believes that he hasn't ever died and that Okul is his friend. She jumped when she heard a loud bang. She looked at Waters in shock, staring at the hole that was left in her wall. She looked at Waters in shock. Apologies, Waters said as he sat down. Light shook her head. No, it's all right. I understand the frustration. Damn, did he punch a hole in her wall? She offered the older man a small, kind smile. She reached out, gently grasped his hand, and allowed her magic to flow into his scraped fist, mending flesh until any evidence of injury was gone. Light let go of his hand, watching as he flexed. Waters sighed soft and rubbed his helmet. Could I ask something of you? Light gave Waters a sharp look. As long as you stay in the water. He sighed and nodded. All right, could you get the footage from the cameras around the community center? Light nodded. I can do that, she said. Tomorrow it's late and we both need to eat. She stood up and walked into the kitchen nook. She wanted to try the recipe Miss Kathy had given her. Oops. There we go. Perhaps him and Violence have more in common than expected. A meeting from Shorts. It happened again, that same urge, that same voice that comes and goes. I thought it was due to my lack of sleep over this past week, but after hearing the news about Comet's run-in with Eclipse, I can't say I feel a lack of adrenaline anymore. They took the stand at the emergency meeting to much of everyone's surprise. I know they're strong, stubborn, but even I was admittedly worried. They carried themselves in with an almost unreadable expression, but there was no doubt in my mind that they were frustrated. I would be too, letting the person who's been causing so much paranoia as of late get away. It's okay, though. Comet can put up a good fight, so Eclipse should be out of commission for a while, but I digress. When I laid eyes on them up on the podium, I felt my blood starting to chill at the sight. Protectiveness, maybe, but it's always been the other way around. Please stop trying to eat the poisonous wild berries show, they would sigh before hurling me under their arm and dragging me away. I've since grown a lot, and growing up with a mentor who knew danger like it was their shadow, I had no reason to doubt their self-preservation, so that checks off being protective. This feeling is as it was when I met the person at the market not long ago. That weird trance I slipped into that forced me to draw my sword on the innocent thing for no reason. Don't even get me started on that goresome vision that accompanied it. It still haunts me that I would even consider fruitless harm. I think I'll pay Comet a visit at the emergency room to clear my mind. I hope these thoughts and voices stop soon. We have a video. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Let me see if I can make this full screen. There we go. Yeah, the Steve heads.
Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bomb is shaped like a deer.
Send that in the comment. Keepers of Solace nurse medical reports.
Lizard.
As a member of the very small amount of hospital staff, I've decided to write the medical reports on the newest attacks and any attacks going forward so Dr. Magos doesn't have to write them all himself. These are for the eyes of the medical staff and Lady Freya only, and everyone on Lord Tuesday. If you're seeing this, you've likely gone through the proper channels among the court to request these records. There will be mentions of blood and injury, read at your own discretion. Waters. Name, Ian Waters, age 42, human. Cleared to return to work, but I intend to keep a closer eye on him so he doesn't run his health into the ground. Injuries and condition when found. Lucid, but barely. He was using a wall to keep himself upright. His arm was nearly cut off completely, and he lost a lot of blood. The blade used to harm him must have been laced with poison because there was poison in his system. He had passed out after requesting to be taken somewhere that wasn't the hospital. Waters was brought to the Moon-touched Kingdom where he resided in a pool warmed with magma and laced with healing potions and healing magic. He was healed, fed, and made to rest for 3 days. Medical staff and civilians who cared for the patient. Light found him and provided most of the medical attention, and Kathy provided food and plants to help with the lingering effects of the poison. Final thoughts. Waters has made a full recovery at this time, but I do not trust that he will return to his habit of not sleeping. I will be keeping him under close watch and make him rest as soon as I notice that he is tired. Name Okul, age 27, species Warden. Awake but too injured to move. She was found with her own sword stabbed through her body, a hole in her right hand as a result from a laser pistol, a few bruises from being hit, and cracked ribs from being kicked. Krufik found Okul and brought her to the hospital. Dr. Magos cared for the worst of the injuries. Nurses have been checking on her around the clock. Due to how big of a threat Okul is, she has to be restrained. I feel as though this and the fact that she is protected while under the care of the hospital is a good choice. She cannot be trusted, nor can people be trusted to do their anger. Let us hope that everyone will stay responsible. Name Comet, age 100 plus, species Warden? Question mark? Why question mark? Current status stable. A stab wound found to their abdomen and minor scuffs on their fist. Cam brought Comet in after being contacted by them. Dr. Magos treated the worst of their injuries. Nursing staff have been keeping Comet under observation for the time they're recovering. They're stubborn and very lucky that their stitches didn't reopen when they decided to come to the emergency meeting. Otherwise, they have been responding well to treatment. I hope that they do not get attacked again. Don't we all hope? We have another missing person! Seraphine! Oh no! Seraphine was last seen outside of her home near the Keepers of Solace. It's always the Keepers of Solace. On October 10 around 9 a.m. She was wearing a maid's dress with white knee-length socks and Mary Jane's. Her friend Truffle and child Zenithra were the last to see her. Rip. Frog is having a hard time adjusting. Put up the YouTube thing again. The red tears! It is the monastery, I knew it. Frog, no! Frog, no! No! They're so, like, they're so innocent and just carefree. This can't happen to them. Okay, how many things do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's okay. Eclipse has struck again. Comet was stabbed and attacked by her, and they are currently hospitalized, even though they do not appear to be very happy about the medical attention. Kron was there. They'd asked Comet who did it. If it was someone who dislikes them. Comet didn't know, but they're going to investigate. Kron's English has gotten better. A lot better, actually, from the last time we spoke. They stammer a lot, yes, and sometimes they use the wrong words, but they're trying, and I'm proud of them. But they're looking for me. And apparently the only person assisting is Okena. I know him. I know of some things he had done to Okul, things I should not. Light and Waters had found me on separate occasions. They were kind. They did not accuse or yell. They seemed to understand. They let me decide. It was refreshing, even though it came off as a surprise. I had spoke with Frog as well. It ended unpleasantly. They had been asking me about the search party, why I worked with Okul. I almost lost my temper, but they left before it could happen. And now they're missing, according to the recent posters I've seen about. Seraphine is also missing. I hope it has nothing to do with that hatred-fueled individual within her. And I also hope that neither is involved in Eclipse. I've decided to take notes on the Anathi's whereabouts once more, but I'm keeping that information to myself this time. At least until it is completed and written in stone for at least a while. So I do not have to start over again, so no one gets in the way. She has a cycle. If she goes out of it, something is wrong, and I will check on the people on that hit list of hers. I will do it alone, and soon I will return to Kron. I promise. I am not abandoning them, especially not with Milena's goddess lurking. And especially not with Okul's father being acquainted with them. Croy. Emergency faction meeting.
I apologize for pulling the whole Eclipse topic away from.
No.
He was attacked by an unknown assailant. He, at this time, did not tell me who.
Not here.
He is making a full recovery at this time, but he does still have some lingering effects from a poison in his system.
Do you think this could have been Eclipse?
No.
At the same time as the poisoning and nearly losing his arm.
There it is.
I did go back to the area at that couple times, but I couldn't find any evidence. And I'm sure something was picked up on the cameras, but I haven't seen it just yet.
Well, that's enough of
As I
that.
said before, thank you all for being here. If there are no more questions or comments, then this meeting is dismissed. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.
The glitch heads on the ground. The Okul heads. Oh! Waters has a letter.
Lieutenant Aldrich, you're ignoring me. It really is a lot. It's being out of your senses. I joke, though I wish I didn't have to. The move I did to you was unpleasant. But you must understand I had to. This planet is changing you, and you may see it as a good thing, but it isn't. The environment here has been built for you. They cannot make it wholly safe for someone like you to stay here. But I can. Do you want me to do that, Aldrich? Do you love these precious twins of yours so much that you would insist to stay here when they come home? I miss you. I want to do something worse to show you that. I don't want to hurt you, and I never would do it if it wasn't absolutely necessary. That's what it says.
Oh, this is beautiful. What shaders are these? Asbelius. Who's this other person? Ooh. What the heck? Was that Elia? What happened to Balios? Yes? Oh, Rip Balios ×2, I guess. Damn, 07. Oh, Balios, why am I here again? What's with my arm? Did Balios die again? Bro didn't get like more than a week. Oh my god. You did great. There's more Okana stuff. You're back? Ooh, I'm so sorry! Oh, your eyes! I'm so sorry! Okay. You're back? Do not mistake my shock for disdain, my son. Me and your mother just did not expect to see you back, ever. It's not common for people to return. Me and your mother, we've heard stories. They aren't true, are they? They're terrifying. What have you done? That's close enough, son. We can see you, just please don't come any closer. You're a monster. Oh, we get Okana angst now? I am not feeling bad for this dude. Different Balios lore, okay. He isn't dead, okay. 2 views on being a father. Oh, I'm currently editing. CJ, I love your writing, but you gotta stop writing so much for every Lore Tuesday, please, I beg. Here he stood once more. I'm gonna limit you to like 10 pages. I know that that's gonna be a lot of like, a lot harder. But you write like 30 pages every time and it kills me. I'm so sorry. You probably got the biggest amount of deja vu because I said this to CJ before. CJ. This is 12. The other one was like 6 or 7. Last week there was like a good, yeah. You do! Someone right now, go and look at, count how many pages CJ has put in, not the 6, 7. How many pages CJ has entered this week. Alright, continuing. I want to go get my Taco Bell! It's been 3 hours! Here he stood once more, the white walls once again a daunting covering for what horrors go on within. At least they added some green. That definitely makes everything better. Croy had heard of how many people had been in and out of the hospital as of late. A mission in space, assassination attempts, torture. It was quite the opposite from what the hospital was before when Grim Altior was a doctor. At least it has more than a singular staff member this era. Well, then I'm gonna limit you to 3 pages, CJ. He thought back to the emergency faction meeting. This one document is 12 pages! Comet had been attacked by Eclipse while going to the Lilac Expeditions faction. They had since been hospitalized, even though they appeared at the faction meeting. They were upset and, quite frankly, pissed, snapping at whoever offered them assistance or asked them to return to the hospital. It was a fair enough reaction, but Comet was being hard on themselves. Okul is also hospitalized. She is who he is visiting. The only problem is that no one is supposed to. No one other than doctors, nurses, or the authorities. Yes, he could sneak past them all easily. The only problem is one of the nurses, Light. A kind person, yes, but Croy knows her attitude to things can change if it's a topic she dislikes. After recently learning that she can see him without his effort, she would most likely alert others if she were to see him in Okul's hospital room. He let out a sigh, looking down at the shield strapped to his arm, which was slowly returning to its original shape from the spike it was for weeks. He ran his fingers over the engraved words upon the metal of the edges, thinking hard. No one will steal it. It will be fine. Croy moved towards a large bush behind a bench to the side of the hospital, detaching the colorful shield from his arm and sliding it into the greenery. It blended well with the wood of the bench, and the leaves concealed the metal and leather. And no one was around currently. It was rather early in the morning, after all. A moment's hesitation later, Croy let go, stepping back with something in hand, turning his attention back to the hospital. 20 minutes. What was within his grasp was lifted to the void of his chest, the shadowy tar from it reaching out and gently absorbing it inside. Then, as he took slow steps toward the hospital door, he began to sink into the ground, taking a deep breath in before his head faced below, just as he reached the door. A sharp, freezing shiver racked his body, forced to hold his breath, although he never needed it. He looked around, staring at the vast void below and around him, seeing cave systems and ruins buried deep in the vast stone leading down to Solace's core. He turned his head upwards, able to see everything above, as if the ground was made of air or glass. He could see the inside of the hospital from below, seeing the people walking on the ground above his head. He moved forward, his body hunched and arms wrapped around himself as he continued to shake with the cold. Being within literal solid rock does that, for a reason he hadn't figured out yet. Yeah, spectator mode is, that's what I was thinking. He followed the path from below towards the emergency hospital rooms, the hallway barren apart from Magos, the one and only doctor, rustling through paperwork. He sorted and scanned through the files, his scarab skittering around and assisting him. Croy saw it as a funny yet curious sight, but otherwise moved on, keeping focused on the mission at hand. He rounded the corner, seeing the room he needed to go into. Security measures bolted to the door and sensors within the room, a security camera fixed down at the bed. Croy was just about to move forward, but paused, the sound of footsteps rounding the corner making him instinctively duck, his body sinking deeper into the vast expanse of caves and void below him. He tensed, forcing himself to reach up a hand through the hospital floor and grabbed onto a table so he wouldn't fall indefinitely. He scratched at his face, his fingers pulling his eye, trying to hold his breath, as he watched Light make her way towards Okel's room, a tray of medication in her arms. She put in a code before using a keycard to open the door, shutting behind her. The ghost below followed after her, grounding himself. He could see the glint of hatred in her eyes, the way the wings sprouting from her head fluffed and twitched in obvious irritation as she injected Okel with painkillers. He understood why. Come on, Light, hurry up, please. His thoughts grew restless as he waited for her to leave, the items he had stored away in his chest tugging from within, threatening to become one with the earth he couldn't see around him. He would need to return to the surface soon, otherwise he would be forced below into a cave. He placed a hand over his mouth, moving to be beneath Okel's bed. His free hand removed the items from his chest, placing them out onto the floor beneath, before retreating it away, just outside the hospital walls. He gasped as he raised himself halfway up onto the grass, coughing breathlessly, shoulders bouncing as the stark contrast of heat collided. The sun blaring and blinding, brighter than usual, the colors of the world more vibrant. He almost took a second to admire it before shaking his head. Not now. He took a few moments longer to recover before forcing himself to dip back down, dragging himself through just in time to see Light leaving, the door self-locking. He waited until she was out of sight before going around the room, freezing the cameras recording and disconnecting the sensors temporarily. Everything apart from the door was tampered with for the time being. He rose, taking care to be quiet while doing so. He stared down at the figure laying in the bed, the familiar sound of rhythmic beeping muffled in the background. Okel was strapped down like an animal, her uniform replaced with white reinforced cloth, her arms forcibly crossed over her torso, black straps holding on tightly. Even more restraints, metal chains were clamped to her wrists and secured to opposite sides of the bed to the arm it held, reinforcing that hugging pose. Her legs got the same treatment, secured with bulkier chains to the end. He hoped that her injury was treated and bandaged beneath. Croy turned his face away from it for a moment. It felt unfair. He was well aware of what Okel had done. He knows. He's seen it. He's had his fair share of thoughts about hurting her, of killing her, of making her suffer. He knows. And yet, he gazed back at the warden, watching her chest rise and fall within the confines of the straitjacket, watching her laying so still, her face wasn't harshened by a scowl or her bared teeth. Croy then grew curious and focused, his hand raising near, like flicking a light switch. He took a quick step back in a slight surprise, his deer ears perking as his guard shot up. The heart monitor's beep sped up a moment, but slowed after a short moment after. Nothing else happened. It was easier to make himself known to the warden than it usually was. Her mind was much emptier. There were no racing thoughts, no flashes of memories, no inner monologues. It was a clear pathway. Croy fiddled with his jumper collar, thinking for a moment. He had stopped counting. It may have been 20 minutes already, maybe more, maybe less. There was no point starting again. The ghost ran a hand through his fringe as he approached once more, only to crouch and reach beneath the bed, for the items he had dropped beneath in a panic. Covered in dust within his palm was a flower and a stone. He brushed them both off, and the colors came clear. He tucked the flower into one of the straps on Okel's arm, assuring that it was hidden from sight. It was a lavender flower, the scent of it faint but noticeable to those incredibly near. It was to help Okel sleep. Beside it, he tucked in a small piece of amethyst, the crystal a smooth spike. He remembered that on his planet it was believed to assist with healing, to help with strengthening of a person, of guiding them through troubles. Whatever this is. Croy's accent grew more prominent with the native words of his planet as he stepped back, resetting the security measures he had messed with. With one final look to Okul, he phased through the wall, taking a deep breath. He knew that Okul wouldn't care for what he had left for her. He knew she would throw it aside carelessly, but at least it may help her when she's out cold. He rounded the corner, returning to the path in front of the hospital once more, the sun dipping behind and between the buildings before resting just above the point of the courthouse. He followed along the path, going to get his shield and take his leave, but he stopped in his tracks. Someone sat on the bench, his shield in their lap. He didn't fully register his thoughts before he was acting, seizing the shield from the stranger with a sharp yank, which seemed to catch the stranger in question, a gentleman clad in black leather and a mask that clamped over his head, off guard. However, composure was soon regained as Croy fastened the shield to his arm, beginning to leave, eyeing the stranger whose singular visible eye darted around the general area where the ghost was. "Excuse me?" The stranger's voice made Croy pause. He recognized it. He watched him, laser-focused as the man stood, adjusting his coat and black gloves. "That belongs to an acquaintance of mine's friend. I cannot let you take it." Acquaintance? The man was lucky he called Kron that and not anything else more progressed. Croy was just about ready to pounce. "Unless you are that friend? Kron's friend?" A heavy sigh laid weight on the ghost's shoulders, running a hand over his face. He stepped closer, focusing once more. "Me and your mother both love you. You're a monster. That's close enough, son. We can see you just... All hail the Divine One. You will die under Eclipse Peak, just like you were meant to, Okul. Everyone will know the name of the great Okana." Croy watched as the stranger's eye focused on him, the sound of thoughts and memories clearing away sharply. "I am Croy, yes. This is my shield." Okana hummed softly, as if processing the person before him, his arms folding behind his back. The leather of his clothing creaked with the movement, rubbing off itself in the creases. Croy noticed him eyeing his shield a moment before speaking, his back straightening while doing so. "Why would you leave it discarded like this? This Sam individual must matter to you quite a bit, if the shield is a way to remember him. You should know not to touch things that do not belong to you, let alone question and assume things after doing so." Croy's response was in a low voice, his tone flat and calm, with a slight edge to it. His ears twitched as he gave a quick glance around, noticing the sun slowly brightening the sky into a light blue, just about reaching the clouds above it. When he looked back, he noticed Okana eyeing the shield again, which prompted him to move his arm so it would be behind him, the design facing away from them both. "My apologies. I didn't intend to push any boundaries. I wanted to see if it was the shield Kron had described." There was a held-back sigh in Okana's words, but his politeness and authority remained strong. He took a step closer, his boots crunching over the patches of gravel along the carved pathway. He tilted his head downwards a bit, meeting Croy's gaze once more, at a bit more of an angle. "You were worrying them by not returning home, you know. The poor thing." The ghost held in a scoff as Okana trailed off, holding the stair just as Okana was doing. He put his free hand on his hip, his thumb fiddling with the bottom of his jumper, the fabric feeling like nothing and something at the same time. "There had been complications. It was safer for Kron if I left for a while. I will go back soon." "You're certain?" "I am." Another silence fell over the two, only broken by the twittering of birds gliding overhead, some perching atop the buildings surrounding the two individuals, as if to watch the show, to see what would happen next in chatter and excitement. Okana nodded, his head turning towards the hospital. "I am still curious, however. Why did you hide your shield out here, in a bush of all places?" A soft laugh followed his words, one of his hands moving from his back to rest beneath where his mouth should be. Croy finally broke his stare, shifting his stance, the weight of the shield still held defensively behind him, becoming slightly more noticeable. His gaze ran over to the engraved text Okana had referred to earlier, finding his words. "I was visiting someone in the hospital, General Okul. Visitors— No! Don't tell him! Visitors are not exactly welcomed, though, so I had to sneak past." "Ah, I see." A solemn lilt crept into Okana's voices then at the mention, but his hand moving down to clasp with another behind his back. But his stance wasn't as tall as before. His shoulders sagged. It made Croy's ears twitch, a pain growing at the right side of his forehead. But he responded, turning back to face the gentleman. "She is asleep at the moment. She's strapped down to the bed as a precaution, but other than from what I saw, she is well." Okana clicked his tongue, the noise partially muffled behind his mask, as were most of his words. His eye narrowed as it downcasted, guilt seeming to weigh his eyelid down. His head shook as if scolding himself, disappointment and worry appearing to mix with his strong demeanor, almost softening it. Almost. It's a shame. Okul, before this great anomaly, was so passionate, loyal, kind. The House of Ocular Enlightenment, the religion I introduced her to her, she loved it. She was so dedicated. But now her knowledge on it is so twisted. Okaina's voice sounded sad, almost reminiscent of what was. It made Croy's metaphorical stomach churn as the man continued. Those 6 years after everyone disappeared, maybe if I found her in time, things would have been different. Maybe she wouldn't have been driven mad by the isolation. She was what Kron seems to be to you, from what they told me. She is my daughter, and as Kron is your child. Okaina's head raised, his hand coming to cover his heart, a soft determination entering his voice. Not noticing Croy's fists tightening. I want to be there for her now, to help her, to guide her, to be her father. Oh, spare me! You do not get to play father after treating her like a toy soldier, Okaina. Croy's words cut through the air, and Okaina's declaration like a blade. Silencing the very breeze in the greenery it fluttered. The birds' squawks and songs ceased their choruses, holding their breath while the dark shadow of gray clouds covering the sun creeped over the two. Okaina was silent. His facade faltered, his stare blank with shock, confusion, and something else. His arms fell to his sides, hands in loose fists. Croy himself shifted as he came to realize what he had just said. Okaina never told him his name, nor did he mention anything about any wars involving him and Okul. Bollocks. Croy adjusted his stance, shield moving to be in front of him as he took a few steps back. Wait. He heard Okaina manage out, but it seemed as if the man was struggling to put his thoughts into words. How did you... Before any more words could be uttered, Croy disappeared from Okaina's eyes, the shield floating away and crossing the river before Okaina could call out again. Finally, someone calling him out. Harmonian Accord. Honda Accord? Okaina watched the peculiar shield cross over the river, knowing it was accompanied by one he'd promised to find. He shook his head, ignoring the confrontation of sorts that just occurred, but taking a mental note to keep wary of that one and any affiliated with them. He stood up and walked towards the hospital, entering through the doors only to be blinded by pure white sterile walls and pathways that could lead any which way. He was startled by the unnatural metal scurrying of strange metallic insects moving all up and down the hospital, seemingly having important places to be. He approached the robotic specimen at the desk and leaned down to make eye contact. Hello, I'd like access to General Okul Skullcath's hospital room. The acting receptionist prompted Okaina for the required information, his full name and a fingerprint ID. Okaina Saradath, and my fingerprints have long been removed from my person, he said warmly. Then you will need to submit a face ID, the mechanical responded. Okaina sighed and shook his head slightly. Very well, I was hoping I'd not have to, but... He placed his hands on his mask. A hiss could be heard as smoke came from the back and the mask seemed to loosen to 2 sizes too big on his face, baggy and unfitting. He slid it off and exposed his face to the receptionist. Okaina face reveal? Your doc is 139 pages? Oh my gosh, you and Kath really are the same. Don't diss me for making doc run 10 pages long when there's burn ones that triple that. Burn? Burn. Okaina did a dream face reveal. Oh, bin ones. Oh yeah. No, I don't like anyone. I think everyone should limit themselves. That's what I'm saying. And I love Kath, but that 30,000 words was a little much. I'm always going to read everything on Lore Tuesday. I don't want to cut it down. I just need people to please don't make me read for 4 hours. My voice starts to hurt, and when I get a job, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Cause out there, I mean, right now it's 8:20 p.m. here. It'll be 11:20 p.m. out there, and I want to have some time with my boyfriend before he has to go to bed every night. All right, continue. He waited a moment for the receptionist to get the face ID and hastily put his mask back on, not wanting the viscera of his skull exposed to the elements for very long. Does he not have a face? And now what is your relation to bitch General Okul? Okaina did a double take at what had just been said and resumed. I'm General Okul's father. Alright, please turn in all weapons on your person and take a seat in the waiting room. Okena complied and opened his coat, revealing nothing but tied rags around the entirety of his torso and a rapier along his side. He pulled it out and presented it in all its beauty. An elegant and beautiful weapon, yet despite its pristine condition, this one had seen far too much in its time. That's what the point of the mask is. Yeah, we've known that Okena keeps saying that he's Oko's father. Yeah. Yeah, CJ, go to bed. Okena bowed and walked to the waiting room, sitting down and waiting patiently to be taken to Oko's room. After a short wait, the receptionist approached Okena. I'll now take you to bitch General Oko's room. Please follow me. Okena stood and waited for him to lead the way. Okena followed closely as the receptionist led him to a glass wall with a door on it. On one side, it had the name of the patient, Okul, and on the other, a bright red sign. Staff only, do not approach. He wasn't surprised. This is her room. I will be accompanying you inside as she cannot be left alone with anyone except hospital staff. He opened the door and let Okena in, following in behind him and shutting the door. Okena looked at Okul in disbelief. She lay so peacefully along the bed, her torso restricted in a straitjacket, forcing her arms across her body, metal shackles on her wrists reinforcing the position with matching ones on her ankles to keep her from escaping. The heart monitor beeped incessantly in the background, but Okena hardly noticed. He was so entranced seeing Okul there. It's the most peaceful I've ever seen her, he whispered to himself as he leaned in closer to her head. Her expression was calm and in an uncharacteristic smirk. The eyes on her hair closed and relaxed, unresponsive to anything outside. Okena backed up and looked at Magos. I'm ready to leave now. I'll return once she has woken up. Magos nodded and led Okena back to the front lobby. Scary. On my way! This is how Cam got to... Why is there a fly? Fly is like, whoa! This is how Cam got to Comet? If so, that's great. And is this with the new tablet? If so, awesome sauce. Made with my friend who owns Yuki. I'll mention it's funny how a lot of the lore is angsty or talking about important stuff, and here it's just two dragon hybrids being friends. Well, that'll be refreshing. It's Ant-Man? Or the Wasp? It was a quiet day, the wind blowing slightly. Starry was standing by the edge of a cliff, watching the trees in the distance, hands in her jacket pockets. Then she hears it. Footsteps, but not feet. Hooves? Someone or something running towards her. Her ears twitch as she turns around to look behind her, seeing her eyes widen as she takes a step back. A figure with dragon horns, a dragon tail. Is this someone of her family? Yuki was trekking through the terrain, glancing around at the trees, the grass, the flowers. Then, in the distance, they see a person. Her ears perk up, their eyes widening. A dragon hybrid? One of her friends? Family? Someone from their village, maybe? She steps forward hesitantly, her voice catching in their throat before running into the person. Finally! Someone from her village! Not all of them are gone. As Yuki runs, the figure turns around and they look scared? Angry? Both? They're not from her village. They look nothing like the people from her village. The goat-dragon hybrid comes to a stop as they stare at the other dragon hybrid. Who are you? They both say, Starry taking a step towards Yuki, getting her sword out. Yuki taking a step back from Starry, arms raising in self-defense. Both now scared of the other. One wanted nothing to do with their family and friends, believing they're dead. One wanted to find their family and friends, wanted to believe they're alive. Both are quiet for a while, scared, unsure after a bit. One finally speaks. Who are you? Yuki says, not as a question but as a command, trying to stand strong. Eyes narrowing at the girl. This isn't someone from their village. Starry, who are you? Starry raises an eyebrow, slowly lowering the sword. This isn't someone from her home. Yuki, Yuki replies. After a while, the two relax, shoulders relaxing and weapons put away. The two aren't just talking. Both don't know the other, one relieved, the other disappointed. So, why a dragon? You sure did trick me. Dragons are dangerous, keep people at a distance, makes them leave me alone. Didn't work on some. Ah. The two look at the distance, at the sight of storm clouds slowly rolling in. Come on. Starry gets up and holds her hand out to Yuki. My place is closer. I can have you meet my pets. Yuki looks up at Starry and hesitates a little before gently grabbing her hand and getting up. Okay. You're right, that's very wholesome. Oh no. We have... Under the tree. Under the tree. Under the tree. Oh, it's so dark you can't even see it. Oh, it's the amethyst tree. Loomis. Your work is not done. Oh no! Dig her up? Nah. No! Don't dig her up! I freaking hate Loomis! I hate Loomis. God damn it. For the recruits. Pascal! Oh my god! I haven't seen Bloomlore in a while.
Why, hello, fellow recruits! It's been a hot minute since you benign individuals have been in the striking company of my alluring voice, and a face that not a single one of you will ever be blessed to see. Did I hear someone ask why? No? Are you saying I cannot hear? Well, I'll ignore that silent remark from you lot and continue with why I have interrupted your break that we must unfortunately provide to you due to legal matters. The fucking government. Well, on with my matter. I am thoroughly impressed with the amount of work that you new recruits have completed, even in spite of your rather bleak dedication to the job, and thought I would prepare something extraordinary. Behind me is a room. Already extremely exciting, isn't it? In that room is a gift to you all for your tremendous work. But not only will I relinquish this hard-working room to you all, I will also be providing you this gift in a different form of communication. More specifically, a special jingle I myself wrote. I may be an annoying pair of glasses, but what many don't know is I'm a theatrical annoying pair of glasses who may still be questioning his sexuality, but this is not about me, even though I'm about to make it about me. We cannot afford instruments, like, at all, so you have to handle the miraculously deafening music for my hands, fingers, and voice. Prepare to be in awe! And make sure the art you make of this has floating 8-pack abs. Recruits, I know you've worked so hard with barely any complaints, well, that's some star quality that we like to see, so I thought I would be so kind as to reward you all with a big surprise. So hold your applause, your oohs and ahs. This is something you won't get at your other jobs. A relaxing, fantastic thing indeed. Your jaws will drop to the floor when you see this room here built by yours truly. For years that I think we'll do, and I will lead the grand reveal. Our room to smoke cigars. Thank you, thank you. Oh, please, you don't need to compliment anything about me. I know. I'm amazing. I should start my own career. Why the hell are none of you applauding my admittedly mediocre performance? That's right, recruits. A cigar room for any cigar breaks you oh so desire. We will also provide my personal favorite cigars that I kindly and begrudgingly decided to allow you recruits to utilize. Obviously, it's the delicious canned tuna flavored cigars. You're welcome.
Tuna.
Well, now that I have taken up 3/4 of your break, my pleasure, you can get on your knees and worship me later. And now that you also have this amazing room, you can now continue with your break. Keep up the great work, recruits. And you are all walking away from the room I just built for you. More for me then. My health guy told me I should start limiting my cigar use every break I take until I get to 0. It was requested by Bloom. I have the cigars I take per break every day. Oh! I'm down to 225 per break. God damn it, kill me now!
That's insane. Pascal has no lungs left. A talk in the hospital. Oh, this is gonna be good.
What are you doing here?
Hey friend, am I not supposed to? Do you not like me? What's wrong? You seem upset. I thought you could use a little joy.
Why would I get joy out of seeing you?
I'm so offended. Like, come on, man. I sent a little friend out to go, say hi, and
It was
now you're all
you.
upset with me.
It was you. You were the one who sent Eclipse after me.
Was I? Oh wow, I would have never thought that I would be a suspect. Huh. Interesting.
Leave. Get out of here before I rip your head from your body.
Because you say that, but I'm a little disappointed, right? I'm just a tad bit disappointed from both of you, because like you're just like this all big and mighty person, and you just let a little thing like that scare you get away.
I would like to see
then again,
you fight Eclipse. Actually, why didn't you even try it yourself? Why don't
You're
you?
being-
Why didn't you fight me yourself if you're acting so high and mighty about
Interrupting.
this?
Interrupting is rude. Okay, I'm trying to have
Oh
a
my
nice.
God!
And then you just like interrupt me. But I'm disappointed in her as well because why did I end myself? I guess because why did I think that someone else could do the job for me? Right? Because because you did say that. Why didn't I fight you myself? I mean, I honestly.
Oh, it's because you're scared.
But I mean, now I.
It's because you know that you would lose.
Violence the VA.
Lose. Me? I never lose.
VA-lance.
Oh, that's awesome. No.
You want to find out?
Well,
I never lose.
we're already on the hit list. So why not have someone else do it for me? That was already mad at you, And apparently.
We had a few disagreements, and you sent a fucking war criminal after me.
And?
Oh, get out. Get out, or I'll rip your head from your body. Leave.
I can't do anything. You both know this.
Oh, you want to try?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to die?
I really
so
do.
scary.
But I have morals. I'm not gonna hurt someone who's already.
Oh, you have morals. That's news to me.
Yes. News to everyone. Blah 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 blah. Just mad. It's okay. I forgive you.
Get out. Get out of my room.
I will. Just know, this isn't gonna be the last time I see you.
Oh, I know it won't.
You may not see me.
Oh, sure.
Just know, I'm always watching. Toodaloo.
Just two people like this is like the rage baiting lion and monkey thing. Oh man, who did it? Kathy lore. That was peak, by the way. Good job to everyone involved. Ever since I'm so sorry. Oh, your eyes. Oh, okay. Ever since Kathy had been sent to Solace, she could always travel back to the Soul Garden to visit those she had missed. Normally, she went back to visit Fafnir or some other soul from her past, and she did that today as well, but she went to Fafnir to ask him questions about who wasn't in the Soul Garden that night of the funeral. Fafnir told her that Nikolai had went back to his cottage earlier than normal, and then sooner or later the soul of Belios vanished while she was telling him stories. Two people left around the same time. Both have a past with each other. She knew she needed to visit Nikolai. So Kathy went to Nikolai's cottage and knocked on the door. He answered, looking refreshed as all souls. Hi, Mama Kathy. Anything you need? You don't seem that upset that Belios is not in the Soul Garden, Kathy said, looking at him, trying to find any sort of clues. Where were you the night of the funeral? Belios' soul hasn't been seen here. Nikolai stared at her for a moment before looking away. I don't know what you mean. Maybe he just decided to leave, You know him. He hates being in one place. Nikolai tried to lie, but he was very bad at it. Kathy glared at him. The gods asked you, didn't they? Do you know what that does? He's split in two because of that. I know. Do you? He has two forms now, one back alive and the other still stuck in the void because the gods don't care about another soul gem. She was angry. I know, Kathy. I know what happened. They told me before it did. But Belios deserves to live. He deserves a good life. You know what his life has been. His memories of after he left are gone. He isn't what he was like before he died. He's a rage-filled man who only wants to hurt. That is what revival does. It makes your emotions worse. His anger was already bad. Now he is a killer. No, that's not him. They said he'll be just like himself before leaving Finda. He was angry and grieving. That is what he was before going to Solace. And now he is worse because you decided his fate. I didn't mean for it to be hurtful. I know, but you still screwed up. She rubbed her forehead before turning. Just don't interfere with him again, especially not this time. His reaction might be worse than ever. She vanished back to Solace before Nikolai could speak. I just wanted to help him, Nikolai spoke defeatedly before closing his door. On Solace, Kathy appears in the church of the Moon-Touched Kingdom before going down into the crypt. She wanted to find out exactly where Belios might have gone. Rip. A nice chat. So, you're an old friend? You could say that, yeah. And you're looking for them as well? Is that why you're telling me this? Nope. More of a, let's say, warning to someone that they're getting close and comfy with. That's confusing. Why do you care? You barely know me, and I definitely don't know you. We'll get to know each other soon enough, don't you worry. And for why I care, there'll be more details at a later time. What I can tell you is that truthfulness is quite foreign for them. Is that bad? They've been lying to me recently, sure, but... Oh, they haven't been truthful to you almost at all since you both came acquainted. I'm so sorry you had to find out like this. I don't think I believe you. Where even are you, anyway? Why and how are you talking to me through my... That isn't something to worry your little head about right now, sweet thing. What I can promise you is that I will tell you more. Only if we keep this between us, alright? We don't want anyone bumping in and stopping me from being honest, do we? I guess not. But when will I hear from you again? How much will you tell me? When the time is right, and who knows, maybe someone will get there before me. Goodbye for now, then. Ta-ta! Bye, Red. Alright, these two I will not read because it is past the time that I started streaming, but we do have a lore sheet or two for, after the 7th. Alright, lore sheet for my friend. Yuki! Oh, we read about Yuki. Yuki hails from a village in the snowy mountains. Things had been normal, or so they thought, until inexplicably their village disappeared without a trace, like it had never existed at all. Their family, loved ones, all gone in the blink of an eye. In an attempt to figure out what on earth had happened, they became a wanderer, searching throughout the land for any possible answer. Thus they stumbled upon Solace. It was the first sign of civilization they'd seen in months. They chose to remain there, distantly watching the other inhabitants. Awesome sauce. And then we have Car. Car is from an Earth-like planet and used to be a Mason. She was a part of a group that took off for Solace after receiving a signal from the foreign planet Post-Anomaly. After about 2 months of space travel, Car was eventually kicked out of the ship because they were running out of food and she was considered useless and annoying. The others on the ship forced her into an escape pod and shot her towards Solace. This is how she comes to crash and land in Lucky's backyard. Damn. That sucks. At least you landed on Solace, I guess. Chevalier. As a knight who wishes to protect his kingdom, he must face the brutal outcome of the war that sadly struck him on his planet. After the war, his king sadly passing, he went feral. Depressed, no one knows how he ended up on Solace, as he refuses to speak of that day onward. Currently, he wanders aimlessly looking for a king to serve, desperate to be himself once more, fueled by sorrow and loss. Angst! We love to see it. Alright. Well... That entire thing was improv? That was really good for being improv. I might go get my Taco Bell, but at this point it's been almost 4 hours. I'm gonna make another rule tonight about, like, maybe limiting, like, not just entries, but, like, maybe limiting total pages to, like, 10, if possible, and videos to, like, 15 minutes, 20 minutes total. Just because, like, this is why I'm not advertising the server anymore. Our, like, numbers are going down because, you know, we have, like, you know, not 1,200. We have, like, fewer than 1,200 now. Just because I am really trying to keep the Lore Tuesday streams, like, digestible for people. You guys can't sit here and listen for, like, 4 hours, which some of you might enjoy that, you know, watch it throughout the week or whatever, but, like, it's a struggle for me to keep up and enjoy everyone's stuff equally. It's hard for other people to enjoy everything equally. You know, what meme have I been pinged in? Why are you doing this to me? What is... It's not the Undertale hearts. Fetch me their souls! I need to play more Deltarune. I only played chapter 1. Maybe I'll do that when I move. Alright. Next Lore Tuesday will be a lovely surprise for me and CJ combined. Alright. You've been waiting for it? Are Croy and Azrael finally gonna Angel and Croy? Freaking Alfie. Please tell me that's what it is, because I've been waiting for it. Also, if you were involved with the Loomis thing, I hate Loomis. Loomis, this is for you. We all hate Loomis. Perchance? Oh, please, I've been waiting for it for so long. Okay, I'll see you all next week, because I won't be streaming on Friday. There will maybe be a faction meeting. Kind of depends. Things have been slow. But yeah, I have to take everything off my desk and pack it now. And also maybe get Taco Bell. But I don't know if I want to get out of my chair. We'll see. Alright, bye.